Well, okay, I said, where I leave all my crap?
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Don't be such a square. Everybody who's anybody drinks.
Smoke perp to the haze, smoke haze to the cheese, smoke cheese to the kush, smoke kush to the sour diesel, and I ain't feeling anything. Chief, I smoke perp to the haze.
How are we supposed to follow that?
Haze to the cheese, smoke cheese to the kush, smoke kush to the sour diesel.
My dog stepped on a bee.
And I ain't feeling anything. Chief, I smoke perp to the haze, smoke haze to the cheese, smoke cheese to the kush, smoke kush to the sour diesel, and I ain't feeling anything.
Brutal Monkey is right. All the uploading takes hours.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
And now,
Most impressive.
I love that. Quite a bit. Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? Welcome to Sauced Up Sunday. Got my little coffee first, then we're going to get sauced up. How we doing out there, Wild Bill? Good morning. Yeah, don't feel bad. It's been a busy week for me, too. But definitely been enjoying myself. I hope everybody's enjoying themselves out there. Sorry, I was running around trying to get my setup together, connect all the wires and all of that good stuff. Got a pretty decent show lined up. I understand I'm going through a transition and not that kind of transition. Transitioning places. So I've taken a lot of stuff out of here. I've kept the background, but I'm gonna have to do something with it. That's definitely gonna have to go. But been trying to get some sliders and everything together. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Hold on. I don't mean that. Why did you do that? I did not mean to do that. I was trying to set a scene up. And it skunked me. It skunked me. I should have done this after the fact. But I got faith. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to set up a new little scene here. Sorry about that. Yes.
Got a higher body count than yours.
Well,
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
should I add this to your body count?
Let me get the file. Give me 1 second. Thank goodness everything's in alphabetical order. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Let's see if this works.
You
There
alright?
we go.
I'm up.
It did work. Sorry about that. As I was saying, I was setting things up, and that was one of the last things I set up. I've been talking trash for 2 weeks about that. About that slide. My fault. Sheesh. Goodness gracious. I got a lot of scenes here. My fault. So finally got it done. The Thor little slide I was talking about, where he's screaming for the hammer, and hammer comes to him out of thin air. So sorry about that. Sorry you put up with all that crap. My sorriness. I mean, excuse me. The best streamer on YouTube on Sunday at 10 o'clock. So let's see who's out there in the chat real quick before we proceed on. What do I got? Some Ty rolling. Oh, that's me. Yeah, no problem. So hello everyone out there. Kick, Rumble, YouTube. No fault. Little message to Kick out there. Hey, whoa, from Kick and with a mic. Okay, that's nice. So, as I said, I'm trying to take the show a little bit lighter. I know we talk about gardening and planting all the time, and that is extra fun, extra rewarding, extra fulfilling, and an amazing hobby, if nothing else. But in the quest for me to try and always make cheaper inputs for the plants. Coffee is something I use all the time. I've been using it as compost for quite a while, but I'm not sure that everyone knows that there are actual benefits to using coffee in your garden. Everyone's trying to recycle, reuse, or what's the new name? Repurpose. And so repurposing your morning coffee, feeding it to your worms in your worm bin, or straight up directly into your compost pile, or using it as a cover crop. There's many different benefits to using it. So we were going to check that out. Then I also have the speed rolling championships. I didn't even know this was a thing, but there's actually a joint rolling competition in where is that? I think Thailand was a place, and I want to definitely check that out. Maybe I can't win some growing awards, but I know I can definitely win some rolling awards. It's okay, that video is all queued up. Cool beans. Yes, it is. Take the music out of that. All right, boom. So set the next scene up. My fault. I know it's a lot of running around and finagling and moving and grooving today. And I appreciate y'all putting up with this crap. I'm smoking a little bit of haze, original haze from Authentic Genetics mixed with, this is some, what is it, London pound cake. I had like a butter London pound cake and ground it up with probably like 3 grams or 4 grams of the original haze. And I can kind of even still taste the little hints of it in here. I guess especially with the haze being, what is it now at this point? Like 5-6 months old. I'm just really getting citrus and earth as the main aromas and flavors. So the London pound cake has a little bit more gas in it. It's definitely noticeable. So Thai roll, and then, as far as our news goes, because I always kind of want to cover something. I give us some, try to legitimize the show by, well, we're covering news. We ain't just smoking and drinking. The effects of legal cannabis on street crime. Is there any difference? Is it increasing, decreasing? Has any reports noticed any significant changes? So I want to look into that. And then ending on a good note, something funny. I think we're going to go back to the stand-up comedy route. I do have something that's a little bit longer, depending. I think it's going to be kind of funny, but depending on how much time we got, we'll go into that. You know how I like to drag things out. But I'm feeling pretty damn nice. I'm pretty happy, enjoying myself. Had a great week. Had a great yesterday, actually. I watched a lot of comedy. There we go. That'll help. I can hear that a little better. That's my jammy jam. It's a little bit of lo-fi Mega Man. So yeah, I got a clipboard and everything. I got stuff to do. I was sitting there trying to figure out, and I think I asked something like this last week similarly about what was like your favorite stoner movie. And I ended up picking Friday and with this movie Stoned Age. But I started looking for beer movies, and there weren't as many as I thought. Like Beer Fest seems to be like the best one. I had watched the Strange Brew, and what was the other shit? But they weren't as good. Like the binge drinking, and I like the format of the binge drinking in what you call it, Beer Fest. Seems to be more of a purpose to it. So if there's any kind of beer movies out there that y'all find entertaining, definitely let me know, because I was a little disappointed. I understand everything's not going to be on the level of Beer Fest, but I figured something would be kind of in the ballpark at least, but no, it wasn't. So I'm going to go ahead and, let me see. I guess I'm awake enough. I had enough coffee. Like my second cup. Where my beer mug at? Come on. Come on, baby. Don't do me like that, baby. Come on, baby. Dang, it's a nice Sunday morning. I took the, I covered up all the windows to try and kill a lot of the sunlight, but I realized once I took the cover off of the windows how bright the sun actually is in here. I was able to turn off a extra lamp, actually. I got one of those, oh, goddamn. Oh, the rubber band is stopping it. Oh my gosh, this is prison. I got one of those 6-packs they made themselves with the like little plastic on it, and it was a prison trying to get it out. So now I actually get to use the purpose of the hammer. This was what I was setting up when the camera was off and everything. Because I'm ready to drink a beer now, so hammer. What? Huh? I thought we did this already. I thought we had this handle. Yeah, I thought we had this handled already.
You alright?
Hammer? Hammer?
Yeah, we can tell you're hammered. It's pretty obvious.
There we go. Want to be able to hear the volume of it too, so sorry. Trust me, it'll be smoother. It will get smoother. Throw the little bottle caps in a jar. A jar of accomplishment. All of that is all the sauced up Sundays. Well, this is episode 32, man. Shoot. 20 more weeks and it'll be the year anniversary. So we over the halfway mark by what, 6 episodes, I guess? 52 weeks a year divided by 2 will be 26. So I'm pretty happy about that. As much as sometimes it's rough getting out the bed, it gives me quite a sense of accomplishment to come out here and do this all the time. So let's get into our video about some composting, and we can react to that.
Their activity also improves soil structure and promotes healthy root systems. Thanks so much for watching. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment.
You didn't watch. That was great.
Hello, enthusiasts. Welcome back to another one of our videos. Today, we're uncovering the hidden potential of coffee grounds in cannabis cultivation.
Okay.
Before we begin, please remember that this is an educational video, and therefore all information provided is for educational purposes only.
Of course.
Picture this. Every morning, millions of us brew our favorite coffee, savor the rich aroma while drinking this delicious beverage from our cups, and then toss the leftover grounds into the trash without a second thought. But what if I told you that those discarded coffee grounds could hold the key to revolutionizing your cannabis garden?
Okay, I don't know about revolutionizing, but I think there's something to be said exactly as something you totally discard and don't even think about. There's a lot of potential unlocked, you can unlock in there that benefits other things besides just giving you your little caffeine fix.
Instead of thinking of coffee grounds as waste, imagine them as an organic treasure trove for your soil. They are packed with vital nutrients that plants absolutely love, such as nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. When combined, these 3 elements are known as the holy trinity of plant nutrition. Nitrogen plays a crucial role as it is a primary building block of chlorophyll. And for cannabis plants, chlorophyll is the pigment responsible for capturing light energy during photosynthesis.
Every plant.
This process converts light into chemical energy, which fuels the production of carbohydrates and other compounds necessary for growth. Beyond chlorophyll, nitrogen is also a critical component of amino acids. These proteins are essential.
I think it's always so funny to see like a plant growing in a time lapse. Well, that's a lot of stretch though.
For cell division, tissue repair, and overall
Is that
plant
AI?
metabolism, which is vitally important during the vegetative stage when cannabis plants focus on developing stems, branches, and leaves. Phosphorus and potassium step in to fortify the roots and support flower production. Phosphorus is essential for energy transfer within the plant, as it is a key component of adenosine triphosphate, which is the molecule that stores and transfers energy for cellular functions.
That's what I knew it as. I was like, hey, it transfers the stuff. I know that's what phosphorus does. That's why it's like really good in bloom. That's why they ask for that increase. It swells things up. With the abundance of that, it's able to transfer all the minerals that have been broken down through the whole season of your growing. And now it's readily available, and the phosphorus will help to transfer it.
During root development, phosphorus enhances the formation of a strong, extensive root system, which improves nutrient and water uptake, setting the stage for healthy growth.
And bud mass.
Potassium, on the other hand, is a regulator of many physiological processes. It helps to maintain water balance within plant cells by controlling the opening and closing of the stomata. This process not only aids in photosynthesis, but also helps the plant withstand environmental stresses such as drought or extreme temperatures. So I know what you may be thinking. If coffee grounds are good for my plants, why not go direct to the source and use the whole bean?
Okay, I didn't ever think of that. I figured the smaller the form, the easier it is to absorb. That's why I guess with the cardboard slurry people are making, just basically cardboard and water to get carbon back into the ground, that's basically the benefit of that. But the smaller, chelate is another one, the smaller the form of the element or whatever nutrient you're trying to get out there, the easier it is for all the micronutrients and the plant bacteria to help break it down and be absorbed into the plant. I would think adding a bunch of coffee beans would be like throwing a bunch of like clumps of rock out there. Like, yeah, it's silica, but it would take like 1,000 years to actually tap into this. So I would think on a smaller scale, the same thing with the coffee beans. Not only would it take a long time to break down, but I think it would be so acidic, it would take quite a while for that acidity to die down for anything to even be able to touch it and start breaking it down.
When it comes to cannabis cultivation, coffee grounds are a far better choice than whole beans for a variety of practical and scientific reasons.
Okay.
Perhaps the simplest and most straightforward answer is that coffee grounds are much easier to use. Their fine, soft texture allows them to blend seamlessly into soil, compost, or water, unlike whole beans, which can create uneven textures and take up unnecessary space.
Okay.
Furthermore, the brewing process breaks down the structure of the coffee bean, making the nutrients within immediately available to the soil.
Okay.
Coffee grounds act like pre-processed nutrient packets, ready for microbes in the soil to utilize, whereas whole beans take significantly longer to decompose.
Okay, I was just thinking also, when you mentioned the boiling process, which I didn't even, factor in my great scientific mind, but I would think also that would cut down on all the harshness and the acidity. Like you're getting a diluted product after it finishes boiling that pot of coffee, so it probably is a lot safer to throw into the garden right away versus the bean that really hasn't gone through that process, like I said, been broken down. And it's probably too raw or hot, as they say, to throw into the garden.
Delay means their nutrients are locked away for months or even years, making them far less efficient for plant growth. There are several ways to use coffee grounds in your cannabis garden. Let's start with the most beneficial: composting.
Okay.
Adding coffee grounds to a compost pile is an excellent way to recycle this nutrient-rich material. It's a green compost ingredient. Coffee grounds are high in nitrogen and pair well with brown materials such as dried leaves or cardboard.
Okay.
This balance between green and brown materials speeds up decomposition, producing a nutrient-dense compost that enhances soil fertility and structure.
Now that's like what biothermal compost, where it's creating a heat to break things down, so you don't get the microbial benefit of it. You're not going to have protozoa and different microlife growing, but you will get the nutrient benefit of it. Cold composting basically brings more nematodes, different organisms to break things down, as well as a natural decomposition of the material. So you'll get the nutrient benefit and the microbial life benefit by cold composting, heat composting, or hot composting, biothermal composting, creating heat to break everything down. Basically just gives you the nutritional benefit. And I think compost comes out in the reverse that you want it to come out. It's very high in nitrogen. Phosphorus is medium and low in potassium, but plants actually want it low in nitrogen and high in potassium. So composting gives you a little bit of benefit of the opposite benefit that you're looking for. So you would have to compensate anyway, but it's really, I think, more about getting the organic material into the ground.
Once the compost is ready, it can be incorporated into your garden soil for maximum benefit. For a more direct approach, coffee grounds can be used directly as a soil amendment. Simply sprinkle a thin layer around the base of your cannabis plants to enrich the soil with organic matter, and it will enhance the overall microbial activity. As the grounds break down, they release nutrients slowly, benefiting your plants over time. To avoid nutrient imbalances, it's best to mix coffee grounds into the topsoil at a ratio of 1 part coffee grounds to 3 parts soil.
Okay.
Remember to be cautious not to over-apply, as excessive nitrogen can disrupt the soil's nutrient balance and harm plant growth. Another great use for coffee grounds is as a liquid fertilizer.
And also I would say to not make anaerobic pockets. For the same reason as guys stirring this coffee in this water, just to make sure it's an even breakdown. You're not getting any bad bacteria in there, any black mold or anything you don't want. So you can go a little bit harder than what the guy was recommending with 1 part coffee to 3 parts of soil. But I would say, yeah, you don't just want to overdo it. You would want to apply it, not just lump it down, like slapping down heaps of coffee filter one at a time. That creates pockets where bad things can happen. You do want to break it out, spread it out so it does actually blend in with the dirt.
Often referred to as coffee tea.
Coffee tea.
Take it, steep approximately 1 cup of used coffee grounds in 1 gallon of water for 24 to 48 hours. The resulting nutrient-rich solution can then be used to water your plants, delivering an immediate boost of nitrogen and other essential nutrients directly to the roots. This method also helps to maintain soil moisture, which is an essential factor for healthy plant growth. Coffee grounds are also highly effective as mulch. Spreading a thin layer of grounds around the base of your plants can help retain soil moisture, suppress weeds, and even discourage pests like slugs and ants. For best results, mix coffee grounds with other mulch materials such as straw or leaves to prevent them from compacting and forming a crust.
Crust.
As coffee grounds decompose.
Now, that was the other thing about slapping the coffee filters down. I said it'll make some bad things happen. But I did forget to mention, it'll actually become what you call hydrophobic, meaning once it dries out, it almost repels the water from even being able to be absorbed. So spreading it out, breaking it down, it is definitely the best method. As easy as it is, there are some key things to avoid.
They release nutrients, including nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and trace minerals, into the soil, which supports microbial activity that will enhance the soil's organic matter and fertility over time. Unlike synthetic mulches, coffee grounds contribute directly to soil health by enriching it as they break down. If you're working with a worm bin, coffee grounds can be an ideal addition for your
that's the best part.
Worms love coffee grounds. They will break them down quickly into vermicompost. Vermicompost is a rich organic fertilizer that provides a concentrated boost of essential nutrients while improving soil structure and water retention.
Yeah, worms love that. Now that I actually throw the whole filter in because it needs to be a little bit of paper and wet material in a worm bin. It can't just be wet material the entire time. But they really seem to thrive. One of you guys use what oats and coffee grounds to feed your worm bin? Let me try and check this. I ain't looked at the chat in a while, my bad. Oh yeah, good morning. Lady Dumbledore. Wild Bill, you put the dogs away. Dab 30. Cheers. Okay. So yeah, let's get back into it. Where was I? Oh yes. I tried to pull the chat up, but I can't see the video. Oh yeah, I can see the video. I just can't get to the video.
Just be sure to balance the coffee grounds with other worm bin materials, such as fruit peels or straw, to keep the worms happy and productive.
Yeah, they need
coffee grounds offer a range of benefits that extend well beyond their nutrient content.
There we go.
One particularly notable advantage of coffee grounds is their ability to repel pests. As we mentioned earlier, their coarse texture forms a physical barrier that slugs and snails find difficult to navigate. On this, the caffeine and certain acids found in coffee grounds act as effective repellents for many insects such as ants and mosquitoes. Coffee grounds are also a powerful tool for enhancing soil biodiversity. Rich in organic matter, they provide an excellent food source for beneficial microbes, including bacteria and fungi. These microorganisms play a crucial role in breaking down organic materials and cycling nutrients. Their activity also improves soil structure and promotes healthy root systems. Thanks so much for watching. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment below and share your experiences using coffee grounds or any other gardening tips you found helpful. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.
I think I did.
Thanks again for watching. Until we see you next time, stay curious.
I'm sorry, I forgot who that even was. I really forgot who that even was who made that video. I got that video so long ago, probably like 4 months ago. Shoot, I want to give him credit for that. That was a nice video. Most of his videos are like that. Very informative, very thorough, and all about cannabis. I want to say it's like glass in class, but I don't think that's it. I want to say something homegrown. Is it high on homegrown? I'm sorry. I forgot, but probably the best thing to do is when you go on YouTube, hit, coffee grounds and cannabis, and you'll definitely see that video pop up. I really enjoyed that. That's something that kind of keeps inspiring me. I was talking the other day about furthering your education as far as cannabis goes, and any little thing that you're already doing that you can incorporate that helps you, I think is always a good thing. So for all you coffee drinkers out there, that was something to inspire you, try and give you something. You're sitting on a gold mine and you don't even know it, or maybe you're using it and you just kind of forget what the actual benefits were. That's a little refresher course, because sometimes I forget. I just know something's good and use it. I don't even remember what's in it. And, at a certain point, I stopped caring. I only got so much memory, I guess, I can use, and I got to make space for the stuff I'm doing right now. So I guess that's how you forget that. Oh, man, I must be thirsty today. My goodness, I'm rolling through this one. But it's a Bex. That's one of my personal favorite, my old school favorites. There we go. No, that was cool. I enjoyed that one. I'm looking forward to the next portion of this where we get to see the joint rolling competition, speed rolling. And I don't know. I don't know how good I would fare in that one at all, but I guess something to strive for. Something, if I can see where everybody's at, that and see what they're doing, maybe that'll aid me in getting faster, better, faster, harder, stronger, faster. So I'm looking forward to that, and we got half a body. We shot him in the kneecaps in this one. And I hope everybody's doing all right out there, enjoying themselves. I know it's March Madness time, so that could possibly be what a lot of y'all are going to be getting into today a little later. I haven't watched sports in quite some time. I've even given up on UFC, but I might do a little dab 30 and then head out and watch some sports, perhaps. Go to the bar. Go to the bar, watch a little TV, get a little bar food, come on home, relax, and get ready to go to work for the rest of the week, I guess. I've actually been trying to clean everything up, get all my plants in order, and get ready for the move. I was going to, I guess, originally cut clones and take the clones. I was like, maybe I'm actually can preserve the plants, and been doing a little maneuvering, tucking and ducking, so I can take the plants intact for when I move, and then just start recording there. It'll be a lot. I have a lot more space dedicated to growing indoors with the grow tent and everything, and I think it'll be a little bit better videos. I don't think I will be growing outdoors. I'm not sure about that, but I think more people are growing indoors, so that would probably do much better. I know it's amazing to see the indoors, especially some East Coast indoors, because I see a lot of Cali stuff or Colorado stuff, and the plants be pretty massive. I don't really see that too much on the East Coast, so I was pretty proud of that, but that might not be happening. So I'm just gearing up, getting ready. I gotta get ready to throw all this stuff in a freaking box. But besides that, everything is good. I was going to do that last minute. And I guess actually it might be last minute. Oh yeah. Dude, yeah, it might be last minute. What, it's like 30 days in this month? So I'm actually down to the wire. Wow, okay, so this might be the last episode in this bad boy. Okay. I ain't know that. Yeah, that was cool. All right, well, good to know now. Episode 32. So we're going to have a different background the next time we do this bad boy. One way or the other, I guess I'll figure it all out. But besides that, I've been enjoying myself. Watched a lot of comedy movies. What the heck? We were watching a bunch of Netflix stand-up comedy the other day. Oh man, I'm trying to think of dude's name. Tom Segura, I think dude's name was. He keeps taking his shirt off to do his stand-up. That dude, okay, we saw 3 specials of his. 2 of them was funny as hell. One of them, man, but smoking up and watching a good, funny comedian is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. Just your stomach hurting like you did 1,000 crunches. CNC, a little comedy and cannabis. And I guess I was just thinking of the good ways that cannabis affects my life, or how it enhances the things in my life, I should say. Not really what it brings, but how it enhances the things that I'm doing. Gives me such a more mellow and fun perspective on crap. And then, hold on. Do I have to watch? Yeah, I don't think I have to read anything this week. So lucky for y'all, I don't gotta read nothing. It says it's gonna be straight video watching. Yes, and good for me. I don't have to do nothing. I don't gotta do nothing. So right now I'm just about to set up the next video. So if there's any lapse in any kind of thinking, that's just what it is. No, okay, so cool. It shouldn't be bad. This should be all pretty easy. And I hope y'all are enjoying yourself. The weather's starting to get really nice. It's iffy for me. It's still almost freezing at night. I guess it's in the like high 30s, low 40s at night. Maybe like mid 40s. But in the daytime, it almost has been like 70 degrees one day. 64, 62. I think it was like 70 one day. So we're getting there. We're getting there. The weather's about to be nice. Don't have to do so much to keep the environment in the grow tent stable. So we good. I like this time of season. Time to be out smoking. Enjoying ourselves. Oh, I got another compost video. Okay. Yeah, we want to check it out. Yeah, we'll definitely check that out. Okay, cool, my fault. I just had to resize the video real quick. Alright, so we all good. Oh, where we at? Okay, cool. I forgot. So that's how I stopped the video from playing. Bam! Sorry about that. So, alright. I tried to circumvent and prevent what happened last time. And the video was at the end by the time we came in. And I was like, what the hell? It was just on constant loop. Took it off a loop. And everything should be good. We happy. We enjoying ourselves. Something happened. I guess on Kick. I don't know what happened. Said my stream's offline on Kick. I don't know why. Oh man, yes, I love it. The spammies. Oh, okay. Shifty Eye, what up? You about to get a Vivo son? Okay. Like, quite honestly, I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money, so I'm not coming from that angle. But you can probably go a little cheaper than a Vivo son. I think at this point, now there is definitely, at a certain point, a difference in quality. I'm not trying to say that, but for the most part, from what I've seen, they just make the grow tent kind of like clothes. All that shit is bootleg. I mean, whoever throws the store brand and the Domino sugar or whatever, kind of the same. They're getting it from the same source. Just, I guess you trust the other ones a little more. They go through a little bit more quality control, might be what it is. But yeah, nice it is Vivo son. I think, probably the advantage of that is all the different ports that you'll have and hanging abilities, able to accompany a trellis net or scrog net, however you want to have it. And just the different windows and things like that you'll have on it. Maybe it's back opening, front opening, depending on the size of the tent. But you could go a little lower is all I was trying to say. Definitely not trying to tell you not to get it, but unless it's on sale or something like that, you could probably go down and get one of them no-namers and be just fine. I think my 2x2 is a no-namer. Probably had it for like 6 years and it's decent. 2x2, I should say. It's decent. And maybe that's why, because I don't use it that much, because it's a 2x2. But I got a 2x2x4, which, it gives you the headroom you need. I wasn't thinking at the time when I bought the other one that I don't think that's really by anybody in particular. It might be like, Grow House or something like that, or whatever them Asian companies be popping up on Amazon or whatever. But you might be able to save a few bucks. I guess that's a better way of what I'm trying to say. Nice. And so Dry herb, okay. How is it? Because that sounds pretty good. Like I'm noticing more so, I guess, with newer strains, it's a lot more complex, I should say. And maybe that's how old weed was, and they were breeding it out for higher THC, as they were saying, and like less smells and all that crap because of prohibition. And now we're getting back to the point where I guess it was how the old weed was. You could smell it from miles away and all that stuff. But, you know, it's more than like one or two flavors, I guess I noticed from a lot of the sativas that I smoke, or a lot of the hybrids that I gravitate towards. When I smoke like someone else's palate, I'll notice, you know, a lot of creaminess in the stuff, a lot of gas, maybe a different type of fruit than I'm used to, say a mango versus I'm more used to, I guess, citrus. So there's something to be said for all this stuff. And especially whatever you're creating at home. Let's not forget that. You should be fine. With your first grow, you should be totally fine. Like realistically, just grow the plant to a size that no matter what kind of training or anything you're planning on do it to it, it should be able to recover. You know, when it's got a couple side branches, say it's like 1.5 feet tall, 2 feet tall, then yeah, you really can't mess up too badly. Then whenever you flip it to flower, just monitor it, you know, defold, lollipop, whatever you're going to do to it. And you should be fine. Just let it coast and finish its flowering time. What's the crap? If you think it's ready, wait a week. And if you can be patient and you can actually monitor it, like I'm at the point where I am patient, I don't care, like I'm just waiting to look at the hairs. I don't even really keep track of the weeks. The only reason I do is for video purposes. But I notice sometimes, especially with them hazels going like 16 weeks, like what week is it? I don't even know, because I really don't care. I guess if I gotta track 16 weeks of flowering time, like that's gonna be a lot of paperwork. So I'm glad I waited to grow that at the point where I don't really care about that anymore. I'm able to visually see a little bit better, and I don't need to keep a week-to-week track. But as long as you monitor the flowering time, make sure it's ready, you should be totally fine. There's nothing to worry about. Yeah, that was kind of the main thing. I think, what do they say? When you're doing something, you'll look back on it in 10 years and kind of laugh at where you were at that point. And I think you're going to feel that way. You're going to get that sense of growing. I guess that's what the growers have in common, that we kind of know the worry part is over in growing. But trust me, the first time I was growing, man, I forgot the freaking name of the website, but I was looking like it was like the only website at the time that had a week-to-week progression of flowering time. You know, like week 1 you should see this, week 2 you should see this, you know, about week 8 it should look like this, week 9, you know, if it's ready to harvest, blah blah blah. So trust me, I was nail biting my first one. Oh man. But once that kind of happened and I was like, okay, I keep going back to this website, but it's like really nothing I can do about it, first of all, and second of all, it's going to happen. Like at a certain point, and then I was like, well, you know, it's just going to finish when it finishes. And once, you know, after that first grow, your next grow, so on and so forth, you're going to realize like, wow, I was really worrying, but this is kind of going to handle itself as long as I switch the lights. Like it's kind of out of my control really at that point, and you'll be totally fine. I mean, it is nail biting at first. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Me trying to say that there's nothing to worry about is coming from experience, but I definitely remember those first days, especially during prohibition time. Like I was just annoyed. Like, oh, you can't go look at the plant every day. Oh man, okay, you gotta wait a week. You gotta wait like 2 weeks to go look at a plant just so you're not making these tracks or whatever. So I totally understand that, especially like paying for seeds. And it might be like $15 for a seed or whatever you're popping. So I get it. But realistically, like, it's called weed for a reason, and it's because it literally won't die. Once it gets to a certain size, literally you can chop it in half with a machete and it'll still at the end of the season finish flowering like nothing happened. So I'm trying to like build a confidence in it more so than trying to make it like, oh, it's easy, no big deal. Oh no, I understand how nerve-wracking it is, but trust me, it's going to happen. Just monitor the flowering time is the main thing. Have a good veg so the plant is healthy and optimized, so when it goes into flower, there should be no problems. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Almost there. So yeah, like I had a timer one time that really worked. Oh, that's what it was. The grow light. The grow light has a timer. You know, everything tries to make you get the app. So the app actually did control the light at first. I was able to control the 12 and 12, but now I pretty much manually have to do it. So my strategy is basically when I wake up, turn the lights on, and then by the time I get home, or a couple hours after I get home, shut them off. That's usually the strategy. It kind of works out in a way. I guess I get up like an hour before I have to go to work, or an hour 15 minutes, and I guess like 2-3 hours after I get home, ready to turn the lights off, and it should be fine. Excuse me, but I think I definitely think I need to get a new light. I should have no environmental issues once this grow tent is up. I'm not going to be trying to combat the cold or anything like that. Or I basically had a grow tents in the garage, so I basically have to have the little heaters on in the garage to even make the temperature like 70 degrees or whatever. The plants are off the ground with a couple 2x4s. I know the light creates a bunch of heat in there, but heat to the plant doesn't necessarily translate to heat in the pot. So, as I say, I think of staggered growth a lot of times. So luckily I'm not going to have to deal with that for a little bit, and that'll give me a little bit of a learning curve to kind of optimize all the plants. The sucky part is, because I had all this space, I got a lot of plants that actually grow pretty tall. I went the sativa route. But now that I have to grow in a tent, I'm like, man, maybe I should have rethought getting Durban poison and Mexican haze. Oh, man. Maybe I should have invested in auto flowers. Uh-oh. I'm a little thirsty here.
High body count.
You alright?
No. That's number one.
Yeah, we can tell you're hammered. It's pretty obvious.
Where's body count? Oh. Okay. My fault. Okay, I did do it. Thank you. My fault. I wanted to fix that mistake. I knew something was wrong. Sorry. Now it's fixed. Sorry. Crap. Shouldn't have done that before. I knew I should have done that last night, but I was so freaking tired. I couldn't take it. That was my fault. I knew that I put this information in that covered up the body count. And I'm angry. I am angry, actually. I actually want to hear that. I need it for inspiration purposes. Okay. Where? I don't see it. How am I going to fix this? Oh, you suck. I gotta fix it on the fly. All right.
Got a higher body count than yours.
Okay.
Well, should I add this to your body count?
You alright?
Hammer? Hammer?
Yeah, we can tell you're hammered. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about the technical difficulties. That's what it was supposed to be the first time. Didn't work for me. I don't know what happened to Kick. I don't know what happened to, I don't know what happened to Kick. I don't know what happened to Twitch. I don't know. We back? Okay, there we go. That's what happened. It just need to refresh. So got my hammer. Now I gotta get my beer. Oh man, this security guard ass rubber band. I'll show you after. God dang, this is a prisoner. Thank you. Sheesh. I felt like I was stealing something. I paid for this, you know, and I have my stuff. Thank you, man. Oh, that was easy? Okay, I'll put you in there. All right, cool. Bam. Add it to the collection. And I guess I'm worthy. Damn, that was cool. Yeah, I finally did it. From my mind to reality. And I think that's the coolest part about streaming. I guess the same thing with breeding. Same thing with growing. From my mind to reality, or so they say it. That's in the Bible or some shit. Now that was from Life, Eddie Murphy and Martin. So a man thinketh, so he getteth, or something. It's from the Bible or some shit. So, I didn't change the body count, you dummy. That's the whole point of doing that. We don't, okay. Thank you. You big dummy. There we go. Now, there's balance in the universe. So on to our next composting video, I say. Let me stop delaying the inevitables. Okay. And we ready.
If you're still throwing your kitchen scraps in the trash, watch this video. As a gardener, there's a ton of stuff that we grow out here that doesn't even make it in the kitchen. It makes it into the compost pile because it's not the edible part of the plant. But even once you bring in that beautiful, juicy produce, so much of it ends up in a landfill, which is not where it should go, which is why in today's video, both Jock and myself are going to give you 7 different ways
you got a
can use your
co-host?
kitchen scraps easily and boost your garden's productivity. Let's kick it off with by far the easiest way to deal with your kitchen scraps, and that's grabbing a shovel.
Now, just because this is the other thing, I guess I wanted to do videos similar to this, but they did such a good job. The bar is high, man. But just because they're outdoors in a garden doesn't mean you can't do this in a smaller space. This can't be done in an apartment. There's a lot of people that use the coffee and paper method in 5-gallon Home Depot buckets. And the same thing with any of this. Anything that they do can be done at home, I guess, put on a patio, whatever, for extra space, or in your kitchen, however you want to do it. But this can be used indoors in pots as well. Right?
Digging down, not even that deep, maybe a foot or so, and burying them directly in the ground.
It's like
without
Bukashi.
breaking them down any further. This is the simplest thing you can do. Why? Because there's almost no effort. You don't have to do anything besides this, and then cover them back up. And we actually ran one of the most popular experiments on our channel last year, where we planted tomatoes over 6 different types of food scraps and garden waste buried directly underneath those tomatoes. And spoiler, They all worked pretty well, some better than others. You'll have to watch that video to find out.
That's
But the
cool.
real secret here is the finer you can get these food scraps before you bury them, and the longer you wait for them to fully break down, the better off the fertility is going to be, because you're giving that bacteria, that fungal life, the roly-polies, the insects, time to actually break it down into material that plants can use.
Speaking of insects, one of the most powerful composting.
Now, I noticed that was something I wanted to do in the garden. I guess there's no point at this point, but throw the kitchen scraps into the ground at the end of the season, or put whatever amendments I'm going to use at the end of the season, almost at harvesting, and then by the next season, like this time, I guess next month, really, May is probably a better month to start going outdoors towards the end of the month when the wind stops. This is some serious kite flying wind. But to give it that much time to break down, which is pretty much by that time, the point of bringing that up is by the time I'm ready to do that, the ground's so hard and I don't feel like doing it. But in the sense of trying to give the environment more time to break down whatever I'm inputting into the ground. I noticed from like the vine things that I grow, the melons and the cucumbers and things like that, all that above surface matter, the little vine itself, after, you pick all the fruit off, that takes like 2 seasons, 3 seasons to break down. Whereas, most of the roots are pretty much done within 6 months. And, giving it more time, I guess, is definitely more of a benefit. It's broken down. You're just starting to, I guess, shred shreds.
Insects out there is the humble worm. Whenever I lay materials on my bed, the worms will totally break it down in no time and return it to the soil. But what's even easier if you don't want to set up your own compost bin is to do something like this. This is like a DIY subterranean worm tower. Now all this is essentially a container in the ground that you could add your food scraps to. So what I could do is grab some of my gross kitchen compost here, just like that, layer it in there, and then cover it up with some browns. In this case, I have shredded paper goods just from shipping packages. You could use straw, shredded paper, cardboard, whatever you have on hand, as long as it's nice and brown. And that will be the combined food source and bedding for those worms. Now what they are going to do is eat all that material up, go back throughout this bed and poop all over the place, giving me plenty of fertilizer. So let me show you how easy it is to put one of these things together.
And also their body is coated with calcium. I forget what the hell the breakdown of it is. But basically their body is coated with calcium. So anytime they trail through something, it's calcium coated. Once whatever enters its mouth goes through its gut, it also is coated with calcium. I believe the calcium content increases by 7 times when a worm, I don't want to say digest, because it's like they don't eat. They just process whatever they're eating and poop it out. But it's basically calcium coated, which calcium, CalMag, that's pretty much what all growers need. So if there's a constant supply of worms and calcium breaking down trails, making air paths, coating the soil, being available to the soil, that's nothing but a benefit to your plant. Calcium is pretty much what makes the structure of your plant. All of that is pretty much calcium is what solidifies and holds like all the branches and everything together. It's lined with calcium upon calcium upon calcium. So I know for plant intake charts, they usually have NPK being the high. Well, I think H starts, then NPK for most plant nutrient charts, but carbon and calcium are very, very high. That's something that plants constantly are needing throughout their entire life, not just at certain cycles, which is what I guess NPK tries to create a structure of. In this cycle you use that, in this middle cycle you use this, And in the flowering cycle, you use this, certain formulation. But this is more of a different way of thinking and a different way of growing. Instead of supplying an abundance in certain segments, you're having small amounts available at all times.
It's not hard and it's not expensive. Two options for you. The first one is the easiest, something that you could just get off the shelf, and that is an irrigation valve cover. You could get this at any hardware store, irrigation supply place. It has that sturdy built-in lid. All you have to do is bury it in the ground and start adding your scraps. The only thing I don't like about it is that it is an open bottom, so soil can work its way up and clog this whole system up. That's why if you wanted to get serious and also build something bigger, you could get any old bucket. This is, I believe, a 2-gallon bucket, and then drill some holes in it. All these are 1/2-inch drill bit holes all across the bucket so that the worms could get into this from any direction. This offers more pathways in, and having a bottom is also great because it stops the soil from coming in. Now I did do a slightly bigger hole on the bottom, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. Again, you want to make sure you have something with a lid so you could cover this because you don't want your worms to cook in the sun. So that's it. You just bury this in the garden, start layering in your browns and your food scraps, and the worms will do the rest.
If you're an apartment dweller and you don't want to deal with the worms, or you don't have the space to bury in ground, something like this could work. They make really short work of kitchen scraps. It's a countertop composter. It's an electric device. This one's called a Lomi. And technically, they don't actually make what a gardener like myself would consider to be true compost. What they do is you put your kitchen scraps in, it basically dries them out and grinds them into a fine powder or flake. And that can then be added to the soil, and it'll just break down very quickly into true nutrients for your plants. So it kind of just like hyper speeds up the process that I showed you earlier on, where you bury the food scraps directly in the ground. But sometimes these can be a little bit pricey, and if you have a ton of food scraps, they don't work that well. But this next method isn't very expensive and works well no matter how many food scraps you have. But before we get to that, we have an exciting giveaway from the sponsor of today's video.
Oh, shit.
In my front yard ever since I first bought this property about 4 years ago, when this was nothing. It was just a bunch of wood chips, and now I use it almost every single day to water everything you see here.
Oh, shifty. That's
because it's a retractable hose reel. Probably one of the most time-saving watering tools that has ever been invented since maybe the watering can itself. I can hear you asking, what are we giving away? What is Hoseland giving away? Well, we're giving away one of these, of course, a retractable hose reel, 82 feet.
Oh, epic gardening is crazy.
We've got a birdie's bed, 29 inches tall, one of the big boys, in any color you like. $500 to Hoseling store and $150 to our own Epic Gardening store. So it's about $1,000 or more of value you can use to completely deck your garden out for next spring. And be sure to check Hoselink out because they don't only sell these. They sell some really awesome solar outdoor lights, as well as a ton of different implements.
Oh yeah, I gotta let them do the plug.
Classic nozzle system, so you can basically turn this into a watering tool that does pretty much anything you could want. The giveaway ends October 29th. The link is in the description. Check that out. And back to our kitchen scrap hacks.
This next one is kind of an odd one.
I think that passed.
It's not necessarily composting. Technically, it's fermentation, but it is adjacent to composting, and it's called bokashi. The cool thing about this method is that it could handle literally anything. You could put meat in here, you could put cheeses in here, dairy products, all of it is fine. The bokashi bacteria will fully break that down and make it available to the soil life to further break down, which is what compost does in the long run. So what this is an airtight bucket. Bokashi is an anaerobic process. That means no oxygen is involved. In fact, as little oxygen as possible
like a vacuum
is the preferred thing to do here. Now I started this one about a week ago. So what I'm gonna do here is open this up. It's got a fancy lid here to suction it down. You can see some of that gross white material. That is the growth of the bacteria in there. Now, what this smells like is very odd to describe.
Sweet.
It kind of smells like pickles. And I see that everything in here looks like it did originally. I have bread in here, I put cheese, pasta, all sorts of goodies. It doesn't smell like gross. I don't know how I would describe it necessarily. Now, the nice...
Like, what's dude, Brandon Rust from Future Cannabis Project? He does bokashi. Like Bokashi Works, I think is the name of his company. He's big on this. And pretty much this is a method of, like he said, breaking down the food material, then also burying the material into the ground. So I believe this is I want to say a Japanese or Korean method of farming. but it's a process to pretty much it's all compost. Compost, and I'm just going to classify as breaking down material and putting it back into the garden. That's, I guess, what compost would be. So whether it's liquid form, whether it's, you know, from, I guess, worms or black flies, soldier fly larvae, or if it's from just normal thermal composting or cold composting. The point is to get the organic material back into the ground so any of this works. I get what he's saying. So I believe it's Brandon Rush from Future Cannabis Project does this, and he seems to be pretty successful doing it.
The thing is, once you put the lid on, you don't smell anything at all. So the way this works is that you add your scraps, and you could be heavy-handed because as you're adding stuff to this, you don't want to open it on the regular. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump a whole pile in here, just like that. And then you take your bokashi bran, that is sort of the seed, if you will. It is the inoculated material where all that bacteria, and I believe there might be some fungal elements as well, lives. So just like that, you throw your scoop right on top of that.
Excuse me.
And then this lid helps you.
Cheers! Happy Sunday!
So that's what it looks like on the inside, all frosted up. I squished this down, and now the cool thing is that if you leave this for 2 weeks, it should be fully fermented and ready to add.
Yeah, okay, putting it back into the ground.
Dig that in, add it to your compost pile. This is already pre-broken down. It will break down much faster than just adding the scraps directly to your ground. So who is this for?
So I've heard Brandon Russ talk about that quite a bit, but now that I'm looking at it, this just basically seems like making IMO, and once you throw it into the ground, you just go straight to IMO 4 or 5. So I understand it's probably different bacteria, different organisms breaking the things down, because this is anaerobic, as he said, which Korean natural farming and using IMO is a aerobic, meaning it needs air type thing, not in a vacuum. But it's different roads getting you to the same end goal. So this is very interesting. Instead of raw burying your plant material, scrap material into the ground, this is going through a process that kind of breeds a bacteria, puts it into the ground that will inoculate your soil. And the same premise, I believe, IMO.
It's for somebody who doesn't have a lot of space. They don't have the ability to have a compost bin. Maybe you're in an apartment. You don't generate that many scraps. You could just ferment them all down, break them down beforehand. And as an added bonus, you could open this tap here and you'll get this delicious liquid that you could use as a fertilizer directly. So that is the bokashi method.
So now, like worm juice without the worms.
And you don't want to go down something like this, then actually chickens are a great way to break down and compost your material.
I just gave the coop a nice power wash. The hens are feeling happy, and it's time to give them kitchen scraps. This is one of my favorite ways to use kitchen scraps. If you have hens, I think it's super effective for a few different reasons. Number one, it gives them a nice variety in their diet. Yes, you have to give your hens chicken feed that is approved for them to eat, because that's the way that their diet is balanced.
I don't know about the chickens, but that's a bit much for me. I don't got that kind of space. I don't want to hear it either. But what the heck? People were talking about making like basically black soldier flies from a tote bin. You basically put food scraps in there. Over time, it'll break down, drill holes in it, and the black soldier flies will start to pretty much breed in there, drop out of the little holes, and chickens will eat the crap out of them. And it's kind of like free food, basically, from your scraps. And the same premise as compost. But this made me think about, the reason I stopped it was, I'm not down with the chickens, but that made me think about Hot Times article I read back in the day where the people used chicken manure and made a brew with it. They had a 55-gallon drum, had chicken manure in it, and added water to it, and that's how they fertilized their garden throughout the entire year. And the pictures of it were ridiculous of the plants. It looked like a pine tree branch. It was like brown, grayish, more than it was green at all. And the flowers on it were almost like dark green black. I gotta find that High Times article. I want to read that crap now that I think about it from reading the chicken thing. That made me think about it.
But adding some of this, it's just such a great way to add a
It's
little more
probably the last
nutrition
one.
and excitement to their days. Don't worry too much about things they should or shouldn't eat. I find that hens tend to sort out what they don't want pretty quickly, and they'll just leave it untouched. Now, the reason I like it is not only does it save your kitchen scraps from going to the landfill, but what are they converting those scraps into? Eggs and manure. And that chicken manure, which will show up in the bedding over there and will be cleaned out every 6 months or so, makes its way through the composting system that I have in my yard, and it really helps to supercharge heating up a compost pile, breaking it down, and of course adding all that nutrition back to the soil.
There is the true classic tried and true option that everyone's been doing probably since the dawn of us growing food in the first place, and that is just simply making a compost pile. Now this is a compost bin system. I have 2 of them, and they're about 3 foot by 3 foot, which is big enough for this pile to get nice and hot. Now if you don't know anything about compost, all it is taking your green materials like your kitchen scraps or garden cuttings, putting them into a large pile, and then layering in some sort of brown or dead material like wood chips. And if you keep doing this until you build a large enough pile, that pile will get hot. In fact, mine right now is sitting at 115 or 10 degrees, and that is pretty dang warm considering the ambient temperature right now is like 70. So
Yes,
this
okay,
is
cool.
the best way to break down a lot of material,
Nice.
especially if you have a big garden. You're going to be adding in trimmings from your garden as well as your kitchen scraps. But what if you don't want to do any of the things we just said, and you just have a bunch of kitchen scraps? Could you possibly regrow those?
What if I told you one of the best ways to get rid of your kitchen scraps is to not get rid of them at all by regrowing them, but they don't all regrow equally. So to find out which ones work and which ones don't, check out this full guide right here. Good luck in the garden and keep on growing.
That was cool. Yeah, a little QR code like thing. That was cool. Yeah, sorry I had to jump off camera right quick. No, that was cool, man. Epic gardening. 7 different ways to compost, I believe. 5 different ways to compost is the name of the video on YouTube. Because as I said, I always want to try and pretty much show you the videos that I watch that I found interesting. I thought were in my line of thinking, like cost effective, cheap, even using your trash to, I guess, bring it to treasure type of videos. And that was right along the line, like epic gardening, gardening like a Viking, I think is another channel that does that. He's on lactobacillus and just ancient growing methods and inputs to make it as low cost as possible. There is some kind of entry cost to a lot of these things. You know, you need to have the 5-gallon buckets in order to make these concoctions. But once you get past that, basically it pays for itself as how much use and benefit that you get out of it. It's amazing what nature can do, I guess, is the main reason I enjoy natural farming and using, I guess, organic inputs. That's what I've come to realize. I was basically trying to write a little book. I'll go ahead and be honest about combining my growing methods together, I guess, using the soil food web, Korean natural farming, Jadam, and oh no, that's it. Incorporating all of them together into one growing method. But now the way AI is popping off, I think I need to have like an app. I see a lot of people are doing that, making different apps that actually in real time can help you out. And as far as, I guess, giving you a schedule, telling you how to make the inputs, when to use the inputs, benefits, and, you know, basically make all the information available in like an app form. So I guess I'm working on that now. But I was noticing that from the video, not to bore y'all with like not gardening stuff, but wow, this dude has so many subscribers on YouTube and he's still got to push products because you don't really make money being a content creator. You pretty much have to make your own way. So pushing products with them product codes and all that stuff is the only real way to get monetized, because they don't monetize a lot of weed videos. So that's why a lot of people just do normal gardening videos. But of course, the information translates all the time. You'll be surprised, I guess, to be a true knowledge seeker. So I'm not trying to put it in a big way, but Clankamascoot said it in a much better way. I was trying to be silly, but how he cross-referenced different informations and how it extrapolated onto something else. He learned from tea making the benefits of using earthworm castings, because what did he say? Back in the dynasty period of China, the emperor's tea, they would basically take a handful, two handfuls of vermicompost, earthworm castings, and place it around the tea plants, for the emperor's tea, and that's all they did all year. So if you extrapolate that into anything that you're growing, especially cannabis, that's where you get what the terpenes, the monoterpenes, is what we're really going for, the fine little nuances of cannabis. I'm in it for, it's pretty much going to have the same effect at a certain point. So I'm kind of more on, I guess, color and flavor at this point. I know I'm going to get high, but I want it to kind of look pretty and then smell or be very interesting. Smell or taste very interesting once I'm smoking it. So that's the best way to express it, getting that carbon into the ground. Let me pull up the chat. How many plants can you put in a 2x2? Is it a 2x2x4? Realistically, I mean, what's that square meter or whatever? That's kind of more so true, because a plant is going to spread out, not necessarily just grow vertically. If it does grow vertically, you're going to miss a lot of light to the lower branches. I guess depending on how you're growing. So in a 2x2, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, you got 1 gallon or 3 gallon pots. Especially if you have a scrog or trellis net. In a 2x2, you can probably put about 2 or 3 plants in there, probably maxing it out. As far as space, you'd have to have, 2 kind of spaced off in the corner and 1 behind it, and it's going to be pushing up against the back of the tent. But realistically, if you just grow 1 plant, which kind of sucks, that's probably your best bet as far as the 1 tent, the 2x2. And it's more so the side space more so than the height space, because I think your best bet to maximize the scrog net would really be to maximize your grow tent would to be really 1 plant and have a scrog net, let it grow for about say 6 to 8 weeks, I guess, in veg, and then flower it. No, probably about 6 weeks in veg and then flower it at max. 4 to 6 weeks in veg, flower it, and once that stretch and everything goes, you should be pretty decent as long as it's defold and all that. That's probably what I would be thinking, because that's what I'm thinking about now. Trying to have a bunch of plants in there, even in veg, it's not really working out. I got about 5 pots in there. Really, it's just to kind of keep them alive more so than I'm really trying to hey, this is production time. But still, it shows me what kind of space you really have. And a lot of these plants are touching and things like that. And if there was an infestation, it would be over with. And I think that's just pushing it too much. So I would say at least take 1 of them out. So that would be 4 plants. But if I was really to put them in flower, I couldn't even see through it. There'd be no way. So then I had to take another pot out to kind of help. That would be about 3. And I think that'd be pushing it. So 3, you know, if you want to be safe and really nice, then that cuts it down to 2. So 2 plants in there, I think will be pretty decent side by side. It's going to grow like they're not going to touch each other, so they're going to grow more dominant to each side of their side of the tent instead of really trying to touch. So yeah, it's probably 2 plants, and I'm using 5-gallon pots too. That's the other thing. And I was saying 1 to 3-gallon pots. If you grow them small, you could probably fit about 6 or 7 in there. But flowering, yeah, so like maybe 5 and 1 to 3-gallon pots if you're going to be vegging and flowering in it. Sorry, I'm trying to calculate on the fly and consider everything. I'm sorry, that was bad. But with 1 to 3-gallon pots, you could probably fit about 4 or 5 plants in there and get it from veg to flower. PPPAB. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh man, dragon fruit haze. Wow. Now, the interesting thing about that is I'm pretty sure the dragon fruit dominates a lot of the haze as far as flavor goes. But I wonder how much of that haze effect is in there. If you could like really bring that out almost like predominantly. And what I mean by predominantly is, as petty as it is, 51-49%. Like, I guess in my ideal world, use the haze for effects and the dragon fruit for flavor, which I'm guessing they're trying to do. I don't know how easy that would be to bring out, but that would be what I was going for. That sounds delicious. Like I said, a lot of the flavors, the strains coming out now are very flavorful, very complex. And I'm sure, you know, haze has a lot of complexity to it. And I'm sure that dragon fruit the same way. Sometimes it's probably mango, sometimes it's probably passion fruit. Then you throw that citrus from the haze in there, that earthiness from that, probably be some creaminess, the cross blend. I'm sure it's like myrcene overlapping in there. So, like, I guess once I had gelato, like the game was a lot different. There was the purple haze era, then it was like, so I guess first it was the sour diesel era. No, first it was purple haze era, then it was like the sour diesel era. And then like gelato kind of swept everything. OG Kush, then gelato. And it was just, flavors were a lot different. It was a before and an after. Like I could see the building up to OG Kush, and then once OG Kush happened, there was a whole nother world of cannabis, and it was like all flavor and gas and complexity, cream in it. Like, it was like 5 different flavors every strain, and it wasn't just a shot in the barrel to get, you know, more than 2 or 3 different flavor tastes and weed. Like, hold on, let me actually think about this. And I'm about to be 48 in June, so let's see. So like 14, so that's 4. 34 years of smoking. 34 years of smoking. So in that time, it's gone from, hey, you better not do this, say no to drugs, to, hey, I'm about, after work, telling my coworker loud, I'm about to go to the dispensary after work. Hey, we've come a real long way. I want to cover that type of stuff, but what did I see? Maryland is about to get rid of the cannabis as part of the drug test for firefighters and first responders. The NHL is about to, I think, is allowing people to use cannabis products for their ailments. I think Major League Baseball is next, and the NFL is in talks of it. I know they don't really give too much a crap in the NBA unless they want to trade you, then they'll bring up that you failed a drug test with it. But I mean, overall, they don't really care. So now we're getting to the point where I think insurance companies are going to be forced to cover this. excuse me, we covered that cannabis versus cancer video where those 3 separate studies were pushing for insurance companies to cover it on people's medical bills. So I think we're in my lifetime, it went from no way to wow, why aren't we getting this? This is what everybody's talking about, and it seems to be getting to where I imagine it could be in a perfect world. You can pick it up in a store. It's like buying alcohol or cigarettes, and there's no scrutiny to it, which insurance companies not covering you would be a scrutiny. So we're about to get to that point. I'm really impressed. More and more states are pushing for it. The dragon fruit haze. Wow. Yeah, that cure is going to be... I can just imagine opening up the jar after like a couple weeks. That smell of that haze. Well, the dragon fruit haze. That's the reason I pick haze. But that dragon fruit, I guess, yeah. I can almost smell it through the bag, baby. So where we at? We was gonna... Oh yeah, I forgot about Ty Rowland. Let me keep it honest and get to what I promised. That didn't rhyme, but it did rhyme. All right. Boom. Hold on, I'm trying to set up the extra video. I guess that's why they had, what's the Streamcast, what's them things? I forgot what the Steam Deck. Stream Deck. No, Steam Deck is the video game thing. Where you press the buttons and it gets you to everything. I need one of them with like 20 buttons. Where we at? We're going to get the boring. Nah. Let's get to something funny first. Let's get to something cool first before I go to something dumb. Bomb. Oh, that didn't work. That's what happened. I was stunned. I was shell-shocked for a second. There we go. So that's set up. We're gonna watch a little Ty Rowland. Ty Rowland. Ty Rowland. Ty Rowland. So a joint competition in Thailand based on speed. Yes, this is the video I want to show too. Because I got a better version of this. And it might be even more recent. Yeah, basically like rolling weed a lot. And he think he really good and he gonna win the belt. And there's a weed speed rolling competition in Thailand. Now, because I didn't know this information. Do y'all think that y'all could speed roll and compete with these dudes? I'm just curious. Because I saw this and I didn't see it. I watched it, I guess, just to see if I had the video. It's kind of a faster paced video, so I saw a little bit of footage, but I tried not to and take it. But I think just the whole competition part got my heart pumping. Run some testers. Okay, so let's see. Is this an F1? And F1 is pretty stable. So if these are, just the seeds from the parents, you're going to get the 50% together, like mom and pop traits. You're going to get 25% mom dominant and 25% pop dominant. It's when you get to the F2s is where you're like, damn, I wish I had 10 million seeds. Is because that's where the gene pool really gets opened up. So, I mean, literally what the history the entire family tree of whatever is in both genetics can be pulled out. And not just visible ones or apparent ones, I should say. I did visual with my eyes, but like, oh, this is really potent. Yeah, more I would say that's a visual one, but I mean, and you know, color, things like that. But I mean, as far as actual terpene for terpene, you can pull that crap out, the entire lineage with the F2. So if, you know, you're trying to pull out a purple or a pink or say like short or tall, F2 is where you do all of that at. And you basically take those recessives. That's where the recessives show themselves. And you basically have to breed them into dominance. But I'm amazed. Like, I guess the beauty of the F1 is to just basically see what the parents can do. And I think that is when you get your best chance of having, I guess, what you're looking for. I mix this with this to get this. And that's what the F1 definitely brings you. But my fault. Let me get back into the video. And I gotta step away for a second. Again.
I want to support the tiger and all the stoner, you know what I mean? I pay it all by myself and my team. This is all my money. Yes, and we want to support and to make this community strong.
Huh? That sucked. Oh, that sucked bad. What the hell, man? I knew that was going to suck, so I got a backup for that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to be what it was going to be. That's the risk you take when you try to raw react. Is that they I don't want to say catfish you, but in a way it kind of is, because you think a video is going one way and it kind of leaves you hanging. It doesn't give you exactly what you're looking for. So I do have a better version of the joint rolling championships, the speed rolling championships, I should say. Okay, where we at? It's up in here somewhere. Okay, we passed the composting. I just uploaded this crap. And I got a lot better stuff too. I got the Cannabis Awards. I got a couple decent interviews. Okay, there we go. Just the video. And I'm glad it actually labeled itself so I didn't have to do that crap. My fault. So, another good part is, I've been robbed. Oh, there we go. I drank so much of it I couldn't see it. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and rock it. Alright.
Essaie de dégueuler là. Allez, go. Allez, vas-y. Tiens, un litre de polonais. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Regarde.
Y no es la primera, que se ha bebido ya 3, 4 se ha bebido.
Y así se queda, tan pancho. A tomar.
Beer number 2. I got a high body count than y'all. I hope there's rubber bands off these damn beers, man. This is what I was talking about. I got one of this plastic top. And yeah, this rubber band on it was making it a prisoner. I couldn't take nothing off. Get away. But I am scared to pull this out in the air and break everything. All right, cool. One more time, let's get this right. I know I got it right. I know I'm the man. I know I got this perfect.
You all right?
Hammer? Hammer?
Yeah, we can tell you're hammered. It's pretty obvious.
We working on number 3. Can we make it? Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. We got 24 minutes for the 2-hour mark, and I'm so thirsty that we gonna hit our record. Our all-time high of 3. I'm sure that's gonna be no problem. And like I said, I got a better tie rolling video. I was disappointed with that one. Even though I did miss half of it. That hurt my feelings. Oh my goodness. Thank tech. Raimi 9000, that's funny. Back in the day, what was my name? J Bell 4000. So that's funny. I see something similar. Back in the Netscape dial-up chat room days. Without sometimes with a microphone, sometimes without a microphone days. Like 2099. Damn, the internet's that damn old? Yeah, that's about right. Maybe I was even older than that because I was drinking. Yeah, that's about right. Because now that I think about it, if I'm about to be 48, 47, whatever, yeah, that's about right. Ow! You in here. Rami, welcome to Sauced Up Sunday. We've been enjoying ourselves, watching about compost, different ways to make our plants bigger. And we about to go into the tie rolling championships with a much better version of what we just watched. So let me go ahead and get into it real quick. And I'll bring y'all there. And this better be better than the last better. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was so rude. Dude look like the man, too. Oh, shit. Where's the stuff? Where's the Smurf at? Oh, I forgot to make the March Madness crap.
Okay, so the contest is everyone has to roll a joint, but the joint has to weigh one.
Bam, Tony Subaru. Bam, Tony Subaru about to lay the law down. So everyone has to roll a joint basically in the fastest time, and I believe it is 1 gram, 2 grams. Come on, Tony Subaru.
Flowers, and he rolled the fastest and smoked at the smoothest win the competition, which we have 5,000 baht prize money. Nothing big, just for fun.
$5,000 competition. Yeah, let me turn it up a little bit. He was a little low. They didn't have a boom mic on him. And that's all you get. You gotta stand up. What if you can't stand up? I can't really stand up and roll. I haven't really done it that much. I've always sat down and rolled. That would throw me off.
Joints for 5 years. He can even roll joints blindfolded. He's very fast.
Now, When I was like 15, hold on, let me play the crap. When I was like 15, 16, we lived in an apartment complex. Across the street from us was in another apartment complex. So apparently they went from having laundry rooms within the building to having them inside everybody's dwelling. But they still had the doors open. So some of them were unlocked at a certain point in the 90s, and we used to go in there and smoke in the building in comfort, especially the wintertime. And we started to realize that, hold on, there's more doors. So apparently it was like a storage bin, then it was another door to the trash room, then it was another door to the laundry room. But once you get past the storage room, there's no light. So we didn't have cell phones back then. We didn't have flashlights handy on us. They didn't make compact flashlights back then. It was a mag light or nothing. So pretty much we had to use our lighters to walk through. And we would call it the dungeon, the torture chamber. And I started to think like, hold on. So you telling me you had to go through 3 different pretty much rooms to wash your clothes. First, it was your storage bin would make sense because that's how it was in my apartment complex. Behind that is the laundry room. Kind of makes sense, no problem. But the trash room was behind it. So what's going to happen? How you going to get through all 3 of them rooms? That was the problem. And it being no light was scary as crap. So them saying being able to roll blindfolded is very reminiscent of that, because I had a friend at that time who, once we get back in the torture chamber, the 3rd room where it's no lights. After the 2nd room is no lights. Storage room, yes, lights. Some of the buildings, once we would hot up a building, basically somebody would say something to call the police, or we get spotted by a neighbor coming out coincidentally when we're coming out and never go back to that building. Not all of the apartments were like that. Really, it was only about 3 or 4. I guess the maintenance man forgot to unlock. But yeah, the rest of them was pretty much closed. But being in the dark, rolling blunts with maybe just a lighter. Some of them was like at a certain point, yeah, I don't even need the lighter. I can just feel that shit. It's not enough weed in here. Okay, it is enough weed in here. Okay, I can roll it. And the only light we see is like the sparking and lighting of the blunt. For like a 3-4 blunt session. So him saying he can roll blindfolded is really like, that took me back. Like, oh, I remember the torture chamber. Five, 6 of us up in the torture chamber with 4 or 5 blunts. Is this the same thing? It's like the same footage, ain't it? It's really, because at first I thought it was the same video, but it seemed to be different angles. But that dude smoking that J was the same thing, wasn't it? So just a different cut of the same competition, I guess?
For the speed roll, we find who speedest, who fastest. That's it. And for the creative roll, who's so creative. That's it.
Dang, that looks so good. And I get, people get to smoke the J. Well, how are you going to judge it? You can't smoke 200 people out with a J. Like 4 or 5 people tops. So if they weigh it out, you gotta roll it up, and it's gotta be fast, and it's gotta be amazing. Yeah, I had a lot of friends who can do that, and I guess because I could always had the luxury of taking my time, I never got the ability to get fast. I never had the need to, so I don't have the skill. But I mean, I realized how bad I was when I would go to concerts or any outdoor event like the Smoke Fest in DC. That damn, I wish I could roll really fast or standing up or whatever, because all I can really do is like sit down. I gotta.
The tiger and all the stoner, you know what I mean? I paid it all by myself and my team. This is
shit.
all my money. Yes, and we want to support and to make this community strong.
Cool. So she put her money where her mouth is. She just wanted to enter competition just to keep the competition going, if nothing else. For the love of it. Yeah, I ain't mad at her for that. That's cool. So how many of y'all think y'all can win a speed rolling competition? I'm very curious about that one. Especially for money. Like, I have entered beer making competitions before. I've actually, can y'all see that shit? That's what that is. That's the beer competitions I won. The DC Cherry Blossom home brewing contest. And DC Fest before they added Virginia into it. But I love beer. I have won award-winning beer, but you have to pay for that stuff. You have to go to a location, drop it off. You have to actually go to the competition. You have to wait for the awards to be passed. Like, it's a process. So it is putting your money where your mouth is when you enter these type of competitions. They must be super confident who they got going on. Oh my goodness. I ain't that confident, but I'd love to get to that point. Like, you know, like, let's roll 4 J's in 4 minutes. Yeah, Dank Tech up in here. Ramela was up in here. Yeah, they're smokable. That's like the main point. And over time, you develop a technique. Because another thing, I guess, to put myself on blast, as they used to say, when I switched over from smoking blunts, like backwoods, to smoking papers, I sucked at rolling J's. I was horrible at it. But the one thing that helped me was I remember smoking with some Serbians, like they were Serbians and Russians, and they had literally like a toilet paper roll of just paper, and you could rip it off. I guess it was like more aluminum foil or paraffin wax paper. It was just like a, say, like 500-foot roll of just paper. They could rip it out. It was in like a big box like this, except, you know, a little bit wider, same dimensions, but like super wide. It was just a toilet paper roll of paper in there. They could rip off their own size. And he would ask me for my cigarette cardboard, basically to make a filter. And he would roll them up. So that's where I got that idea from. Then seeing raw and all that, I was like, oh, this is what he was talking about. He's close to Russia. They Serbian or whatever. That's close to Spain. They know of Raws way before. It was like 4 years before Raws took over. All right. Oh, okay. This is where this kind of comes from. And what did they have? What the fuck was that shit? It was quince. It was ferment. It was distilled quince. Rakia. That was the name of the alcohol that they had brought over. They each brought a bottle, like a bottle of Everclear over from Serbia and Russia, and they was drinking it. It was made from quince. Yeah, just smoking. But you develop a technique for it. Over time, you'll get better. And that's more so what's it about to me. It's like an art. And I'm trying to craft, like, you know, hey, it's 5 of us in here. Let me make this special J because it's 5 of us in here. More so than like, hey, we're just trying to get high. I'd kind of say that for myself if I was going to go in that method. But even, you know, when I'm rolling, I'm kind of just rolling with a certain purpose. I got, like you said, a smokable technique, be able to roll them. And some older people, I would say, it's never really been anybody new who's complimented me. It's always been somebody who's been, say, like an aunt or, basically, I guess, an aunt age who's complimented me on rolling, like somebody who might have smoked in the 60s and 70s. It's like, oh, you rolled this? But it's smokable, that's the point. And I guess they were more used to cones, and to see somebody kind of make their own cone or be able to roll something similar is amazing to them. What's this? Metal Man's stave? This is Lo-Fi Mega Man. I'm sorry, I know they jam. And this was good. If you know the original material, this is a great mix of it. They emphasize what they needed to emphasize in this one. I'm very proud of this mix. So I'm queuing up the next one. We about to watch, where we at? Oh shit. We about to watch a little beer chugging. I think this would be appropriate to kind of embrace me and incorporate everything into everybody. And that all kind of also give me time to run away. I need to get away. Oh, I didn't do the news. Okay, punk ass me. I want to do the news. And this is somewhat local to me. We're not going to do no beer chugging just yet. We gotta do the news to make this incorporate everybody up in this campado. Just for the fact that we gotta legitimize the show. That's what I'm thinking. Let me kind of resize this a little bit. I'm almost there. I want y'all to be able to see a good little version of this. Cool, okay, that's good enough for me. You can see the chat, you can see everybody. There we go, it's all good. And to my thinking, just at surface level, this is the news segment. This is about legalized cannabis having any effects on crime. You would think conventionally if cannabis would lower, crime would lower by some percent because that would be something that would be legally sold. But I'm very curious to see what the numbers are.
When marijuana became legal in Maryland in 2023, theoretically, Baltimore police officers should have been able to dedicate more time to tackling violent crime. And in fact, this past year, we did see another historic reduction in homicides and shootings. But did the legalization of marijuana actually contribute to that? Whenever there's a debate surrounding the legalization of marijuana, one of the biggest arguments, both for and against it, is that it will impact crime rates, either for better or for worse. Advocates for legal pot say it helps free up police resources, limits crimes related to the illegal drug market, and reduces alcohol use, which is more heavily linked to violence. But studies, mostly focused on early adopters like Oregon or Colorado, show mixed results. And on the ground here in Baltimore, Police Commissioner Richard Worley says,
I don't think it's really had an effect on violence because almost every day that we talk about incidents, it's still over marijuana sales.
Maryland legalized weed in July of 2023. In both 2023 and 2024, Baltimore saw a double-digit drop in murders, and a 7% drop in shootings in 2023, and a 34% drop in 2024. But marijuana is still at the center of some of those shootings, Worley says.
We had a shooting last week. The individual had 3 or 4 pounds of marijuana in his car. It was probably a meetup that went wrong. So marijuana, illegal sales and distribution of marijuana is still a problem.
If you are serious about legalizing cannabis or any other drug in a way that is going to have a reduction in crime, you really have to make sure that those that were selling drugs on the illicit market have an opportunity to enter the legal market. If they can't make money, then they're just going to continue to do what they know how to do.
Veronica Wright, founder of the Maryland-based National Coalition for Drug Legalization, recently did a study with help from public health researchers at Johns Hopkins. Examining data from 2012 to 2019, they found that areas where drug enforcement was highly concentrated later saw higher rates of violent crime. She says legalizing only marijuana won't do enough to lower crime. Sellers in the illicit market will just move on to other drugs.
You really have to look at how you're going to legalize and regulate the other drugs if you want to see a significant reduction in crime and overdoses. People die of overdoses because they don't know what's in their drugs.
One thing most researchers will agree on, though, is that we need more years' worth of data in order to draw any conclusions about whether legalizing marijuana
more people gotta
actually
die.
reduces violent crime. In Baltimore, Elizabeth Worthington, WMAR 2 News.
How am I supposed to know unless more people die? I never figured that one out ever. How are we supposed to know unless people die? Dang, so more, and I'm saying that in the more years worth of data aspect. And unfortunately, that's kind of the bad part about doing anything, is that as much as you might try and calculate every variable, there's going to be a certain point where it just has to play out so you can literally see the problems that you couldn't foresee. And what, can't see the forest for the trees? Or you're too close up on it? You're too close up on the elephant or whatever? I think I heard that somewhere. Where's my, okay. I was about to be extra angry. But now I feel a lot better. Hold on, is that what the problem is? Did I not turn this? My fault. I'm trying. There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to hype up the stream, man. Shoot. Made me look bad over here, man. Turbo all that stuff out. Let me move body count over. There we go. I like that a lot better over there. My bad. There we go. So you can see this stuff shining, popping off in the background, man. Shoot, what's going on over here? But I thought that was interesting. They didn't say they noticed any improvement with the legalization of cannabis. Somebody got up in B-more people got shot. That's actually where I plan on moving to, like on the outskirts of Baltimore. So, like I said, that hits really close to home. And that's crazy, man. You would think, especially, I live on the outskirts of Baltimore, and that way on the outskirts of Baltimore. It's like 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away. And actually, so I guess I'll be another county away. Actually, yes, because about 20 minutes into my trip, I transfer into Baltimore County. That it is a big difference in how many dispensaries are out there. That's where I was leading to where I'm at. It might be 4 dispensaries. In Baltimore, it's like 12 to 20. I ain't looked at weed maps in a while, but the last time I looked at weed maps, it was every dispensary was pretty much in Baltimore. So it's really amazing to me that as accessible as cannabis is, and I understand the high price and all that, but number one, you kind of know what you're getting. Oh, nice. Thanks for popping off like that. Number two, oh yeah, that's a sweet effect. Number two, that it's still, I guess, people shooting in the streets over it. Well, I guess as long as there's something illegal to be sold, there's always a risk of someone not paying. So let me not think like that. I'm tripping. I'm glad that news clip was kind of short though, but that was interesting. I really thought that they was gonna sit there and be like, yeah, we noticed a significant drop. It's been a 17% drop in murders. It's been a 12% drop in crime, break-ins, and but it was none of that in there. It was showing heroin needles. I was like, where the hell did that come from? I thought this was supposed to be pleasant, lady. I thought you was gonna give me nothing but good news, raving reviews. 5-star review, lady. Okay, where we at? Yeah, there we go. This should be able to end this on a good note. I made it through all the topics. I'm amazing. Half man, half a man. Hold on, let me resize this window. Half man. Oh no, we need to see her butt. So my bad. Let me resize this again. Cause I clipped her butt out. Even though it ain't nothing to really look at, we need the eye candy. Trust me. It always helps. Video production quality. So I've had a good one. We had some people pop in. We had some people pop off. Kick has been pretty decent. Twitch has been pretty decent. Everybody on YouTube. I'm glad y'all came in, man. This is interesting. It might be the few, but it's the proud. And I'm glad y'all are all in here. The support is very nice from all of y'all in the chat, supporting each other, to the support you come in every week. I'm kind of obligated to do this to make everyone happy. I want everybody to be able to have a place to enjoy themselves, share ideas, be able to build trust, have somebody to talk to, have somewhere to laugh, have somewhere to enjoy yourself, have somewhere to be entertained. I really appreciate that. I've smoking a bowl now. Isn't that very rewarding? I definitely smoke more J's than bowls. My wife is more the bowl smoker, the dab smoker. But she really makes me appreciate that. Like, you know, yeah, I'm just making bubble hash for her. I don't really touch it until she smokes it. But when we smoke it, like, wow, I see why you like this. I definitely notice a difference. Like, I'm missing, I guess, the length of smoking, but I definitely notice how quick it is to get high smoking it. You get all that flavor, like a clean bowl pack. That's really the way to judge weed, I think. No matter how minute the paper, you make it out of rice paper, you make it out of was that cellulose, whatever, it's going to impart some sort of flavor. So to just smoke it straight up is kind of the best. It's the most rewarding, I think. You got a point there, Wild Bill. Yeehaw. Ha-ha. Well, let's get into the next part of this. I wanted to watch basically a drinking competition. And I figured this would be a little fun for us to end on. Because we get to bet on horses, basically. Which horse you got? So let's go ahead and line them up. So we got the chick is the I guess she's the judge, the host, and the referee. Excuse me. So how many people got here? 5? Okay. And they seem to line everybody up by height almost. They're like, oh no, this looks too much like by height. So we got to switch the first dude with the second dude just to make it look different. They pretty much, yeah, with the hair, he the same height as the guy, the number 2 guy. And I'm counting like the first guy is the brown hair next to the hose. Second guy is a ginger. Then we got, shoot, I'm going to call him Sloan McGillicuddy. Oh, shoot. We got 2 heavy hitters up in here. They're actually brothers. Let's say they're cousins. But we're going to call them the Smash Brothers. Who you think can drink the most beer? Who you think is going to drink it the fastest? Because I guess they're chugging it. So who's going to go the fastest? Actually, I got my guy. My guy's the third guy. The good dude who got the 1983 jacket on. It's the jean jacket front with the different sleeves, like supposed to be a sweatshirt with a vest, a jean jacket vest with the sleeves cut off, and you put your hoodie on over top of it. They eventually started making clothes that were like that, where the sleeves were just different than the denim jacket outside. That's who I think is going to do it. I don't have too much faith in the middle guy, the number 2. The guy next to the host, I don't trust it. He's going to be nervous. I think the guy in the white t-shirt at the end is going to do better than the dude with the black sweatshirt. Out of the 2 brothers, 2 cousins, but they're going to I'm calling them the Smash Brothers, even though they're cousins. I got the dude in the white drinking more than the dude in the black. So who you got your money on? I got my money on number 3. We'll see. Yeah, let's get into it a little more. Let's even see what this is about. Let's even see what this is about first before we start talking trash.
Hey, Arthur, good morning. Good morning.
I'll be with you.
Hello.
Okay, I'm wrong. We brought the horses out. You get to look at them and inspect them. We get to hear them talk. The dude I'm betting on number 3, he sounded like I wanted him to sound like. He needed to sound like in order for me to win. And I guess number 4 sounded like his enthusiasm was, I'm basing off enthusiasm. I'm guessing that's the enthusiasm I expect out of number 4, but number 5 did not give me any difference. They were the same energy. So they really are the Smash Brothers. They came and played at the same rate. I thought they was going to be going hard. I see that ain't the case. Oh, man. So we'll see. Okay, yeah. Who? I actually got the dude in the number 2. So the dude with his arms folded, number 1. Dude with his hands on the table, number 2. You know, number 3, that's what I'm betting on, the different sleeves. Then the Smash Brothers, black and white, salt and pepper. I got 5 doing better than 4. Number 1 is looking extremely confident out of the pair. He looked like how I'd be looking drinking, getting ready to drink like Magneto. This is not a threat. I'm so fearless. There's nothing you can do to me that I don't even need to like defend myself. There's no, what you call it, there's no animosity. Not animosity. There's no threat. That's what it is, yeah. There's no threat here. You are not a threat. So let's see. Chug it up, baby.
You know the rules. However, it's a monster. So don't underestimate it. It will go down like oil, but it can come back out very, very fast. So are we ready to also look back with towels and all? So take it easy. It's
so they got the safety measures.
Focus and swallow correctly. All right.
Where we at? Where we at? Oh, they zoomed in on them. Here we go.
Are you ready, sir?
Yes. Come on, number 3. Let's do this. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay. Give it up
Do it
for
to
my
me.
men team. On your mark, get set, ice, time.
Come on, number 3. Oh, shoot. He started off slow. Uh-oh, number 5 is doing way better. Oh, number 4 finished? Oh, the Dark Horse. He did better than 5. I had it wrong. I had it so wrong. I had no faith in that dude. He smashed him. Oh, man. I got egg on my face. Oh, my goodness. Dude smashed him, no problem. It was Beer Fest in real life. Jeez, that wasn't funny. I thought somebody was going to pour some beer on them. Somebody might possibly slip. I guess the funny was the embarrassment. Woo. That was what? 24 ounces of beer? That was amazing to watch. That was amazing to watch. Goodness gracious. I guess that was to bring it all home from Beer Fest. But I feel good. I feel pretty happy. I want to give you one more. We'll watch a little bit of the rest of the stand-up because I don't even think we got through the whole thing. We saw a couple of the jokes and I had to run out because I promised my son we were going to play soccer. And oh, we did. It was windy as crap, man. It was knocking coats over, dragging bags across the field. But we had a good time. We definitely had a good time. So I didn't cheat y'all for no reason. As soon as I finished, he was ready to go. He jumped in the car within 5 minutes. He wasn't playing games. I ain't playing with you. He was not playing with you. So cool, there we go. And I can get us where we need to be. I think we passed time. I don't remember this though. Okay, I can't fine tune it. Oh, I can't fine tune this shit. Yeah, there we go. I might actually look good on TV. It might look like I know what I'm doing at 32 live stream. Well, more than that actually. I've done a few more over the years. I'll probably live stream 40 at least. It look like I know what I'm doing. Man, I've done some live streams over the past, probably 3 years. This is just the most consistent that I have been with doing it. Actually scheduling the time, scheduling the day, which Twitch taught me that, hey, you know, you want to get followers, you're right. Everything that Twitch says, that's like pretty much to me the blueprint of how to become a good content creator. Just their requirements. It's pretty much like a job. You have to put in 4 to 8 hours a day. You have to be consistent. People have to know what time you're going to be there. People have to know what day you're going to be there, when to find you, so they can kind of schedule around it. And after, 3-4 episodes, it becomes a routine. That's when everything kind of falls into place. You start to get more subscribers, which adds to your watch time. Your watch time adds to you getting more subscribers because you get featured more. You become a more viable investment to these companies, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Kick, X, whatever. But you pretty much the work you put in is what you're going to get out. Unfortunately, if you have any kind of sickness or transition of job or relocating, anything that slows down your output of videos is really going to hurt you. The fastest people that I've seen grow, what the formula they say is to put out 3 to 4 videos per day. But I think it's a little bit lower quality. You're just literally reporting on an article. You don't have much time to edit or put in jokes or funny little palate cleansing clips. Taken from movies or TV and then go on with your words. But from what I've seen, that seems to be the strategy. You've got to flood the search engine with your videos in order to really become seen, become prominent, really get the subscribers. So going in the organic route, going in the review route, pretty much figuring out what you want to do, how you're going to do, videos 3-4 years down the line is pretty much where you want to think of doing things. Then getting the technology, the cameras, the equipment, the recording stuff to get it all together and just figuring out a day to lay that time out. It's a lot of, watching things in order to find things interesting, in order to edit those down to just the interesting parts, to put it on a video to show you on a Sunday. whether it's stringing together the screenshots, like how most of the news is broad, or stringing together different little articles, putting it into a video format, still takes time, even if it's an hour or anything. So a lot does go into it. So it is really a job, but it's very rewarding. It's fun to me to every time look into the chat and see the same people all the time. It's pleasurable to me. You know, it reminds me of a survey I saw years ago. This was probably during COVID time. And it was, you know, one of my tech videos that I follow, like, this is equipment you need to buy, or this is how you make a video, this is the equipment you need to make a video, this is a trend that's going on, those type of videos. But it was basically, would you rather have, what was it, 1,000 YouTube subscribers, 10,000 Instagram subscribers, or 100,000 TikTok subscribers? And in this survey in particular, it was unanimously, I think it was like 83%, 73% was saying that they would rather have 1,000 YouTube followers. And I would agree, because I believe the YouTube followers are more engaged. Now, once you break that down from your subscriber count, you got people who, you know, are casual watchers. You got people who are lurkers who, you know, they'll watch every 10th video. And you got the people who will watch, say, every 5th video. Then you got people who will watch every video. You got people that come into every live stream. And I think YouTube is a much easier path to getting you to those people who, like, just really support you and find you interesting. And having a number of them supporting you, coming in, enjoying themselves, chatting with other people, like, really the chatting with other people is the impressive part to me. That is the most fulfilling part. It's like the true core people that you're looking for. And we're gonna do things like, I'm trying to figure out really how to bridge the gap with still keeping it growing, but also keeping it into, say, the news cycle or current events. I don't think there's really a crossover in that. So I do enjoy just kind of talking about gardening and planting. The only thing kind of for me now, I guess I'm going through a phase of where the planting doesn't really matter as much. I guess in about 3 weeks, it will matter a lot more and be, you know, shift from 20% priority to 80% priority. But I'm having a hard time seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with that right now. So growing is, I guess, more so something that's on the back burner right now. In about 3 weeks, I'm gonna be into it. I can kind of actually notice the difference. I can mentally notice the difference in my enthusiasm in it, because literally, I've probably opened up my grow tent 4 times in the past 6 weeks. I'll kind of open it to water it, you know, like slowly saturate it over like 30-40 minutes. Pour, you know, a little dab here, sheets up, drops, sheets up, drops, sheets up, drops with all the plants, with all the different pots, all 5 of them, and the little clones that I try to take. I think a couple of them died though, unfortunately. But either way, it's still been a total neglect. And I know I need to focus more on that. And once I start to focus more on that, my desire will be a little bit better. The videos will be a little bit better. The live streams will be better, because I'm realizing I have done semi this in the past, but showing a lot of the videos that I make kind of in the live stream before I actually make it public. And I think that will make the how's it growing segment a lot more relevant if it's like how I'm actually doing this week, kind of show you where I'm at, what's going on, to kind of relate and be more authentic and I guess not really care as much. I'm kind of past the point where I got to make the videos look pretty. And just really whatever's happening is happening, and if it's a problem, let's tackle it and see how it goes from week to week. And that's a lot more fulfilling to me than try to, I guess, garner this audience and match people's numbers that I see who do grow cannabis as well. Because I'm starting to realize I think a lot of this is bot stuff and this is organic. It's reality, and I'd much rather live in this reality and be organic. And I have a good time doing it. Nothing comes good from speed. Damn. Aha, I get it. I think I get the underlying joke, the innuendo within that, and you're right. Nothing does come from speed. Now, there's a happy medium between slow and speed, I guess, with everything. But well, that's the reason you need aerodynamics, because yeah, going too fast does have its detriment. We got to work around this. We got to compensate. But we're all going to get ready to wrap everything up. I do have the end on a good note segment all queued up. We're going to go and rest into the rest of the juke. Yeah. No, we not. I'm about to break my record first. Yeah. Yes, sir. We got a lot of video working in this, man, to do right now. So first, we get the body count already. Oh, this isn't going to change nothing. Cool. That was great, but
got a higher body count than yours.
Well, should I add this to your body count?
I forgot about that.
You alright?
Hammer?
Yeah, we can tell you're hammered. It's pretty obvious.
Thank you. I got them all out in there. Yeah, all of them came apart in that tear. Got the two of them. Oh, you can't see that they separated. So I got all of them in that one. And that's the reason I'm scared of that damn plastic crap. Because I pulled one out and got three. I try to hold a beer and grab the other beer. Oops. Wrong hand in that exchange. I try to grab one beer to grab the other beer and then pull both of them out. Thank goodness I ain't going to glass. Come on, man. You gotta do better than that. You gotta be magnetic or something, baby. Yeah, man. Beer number 4. So this should be good. I'm getting ready to laugh on this one. So I was saying all that other stuff to basically say I really appreciate everyone who shows up. Latif, Dank Tech, Wild Bill, Lady Dumbledore, Paul, Stephen. Oh, Steven. I forgot. I chose to call him Steven out of that list of names. List of pronunciations. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Paul. Just talking about you, Paul. That's funny. Everybody else. Everybody getting along. That's beautiful to me. Love the chat. Love everyone in here. I would call this the super fans. Like when I try to come up with a term and be different, for marketing purposes, but Cannabisian. I guess, a fellow Cannabisian, this is exactly what I was envisioning. I didn't know it at the time, but this is the epitome of it. My true fellow Cannabisians. All supportive, we can all ask questions, we're all knowledgeable. We all want to be entertained. Oh, you're not entertained. And we all have a good time on Sunday. I try to, I guess, give you something to think about, educate you, give you something kind of funny. Hang out with a little buddy on Sunday and send you off for the rest of the week. Because that's pretty much how I go into it. Like, I forget about this after I leave, but I'm like, okay, I kind of want to make the next episode a little bit funny. I want to do everything that I kind of promised within the live stream. No matter how much time it takes. It took me a while to get Hammer, but I got Hammer, and if you don't like Hammer, I won't do Hammer again. But I wanted to bring my imagination into reality, and I think I did a good job of doing that. And all of this is about inspiring people. Number 2 is inspiring you, and number 1 is you can grow your own. It's very easy to grow your own cannabis. Everything that we kind of show is there's not much that you don't do that can't benefit growing a plant. And especially a plant that benefits you in social ways, medicinal ways, physical ways, even, you know, a lot of stuff that will grow, and, you know, it relieves a lot of body ache, at least as far as I'm concerned. A lot of stuff that I personally smoke kind of wakes me up like a cup of coffee, keeps me mentally focused, and surprisingly, memory focused. I work in a job in particular, outgoing and receiving. I work in basically transporting sneakers, and there's a lot of number writing going on, and how easy it is for me to remember like 5 to 10 numbers very, very easily. Look at the paper, start writing half of it, look at it again, and I'm able to write the rest of it without having to look back at it. Keeps me very alert, focused, engaged, in the moment. You know, the time passes so easily between the 3 breaks that we have in a day. I feel like I'm cheating them out of money. It breezes by so fast. So, man. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're doing well, Paul. We were just watching composting earlier. We watched the Bokashi technique. We were watching using coffee grounds again. I finally played the damn video to get it out of here. The folder went from just the videos that I'm going to play for the week to now I got this catalog of like 50 things in the folder that I get lost in the sauce. It's all the music and all the slides and all the videos I'm going to watch and future topics, new topics. So, yeah, finally getting rid of some of this stuff I've been pretty much planning to watch for like months, and we don't get to it. We just watched a speed rolling competition in Thailand. Took you across, well, not too far from you, but we took you across continents. We took you across states. We took you across countries to watch the Thailand rolling competition from 2 different videos. Composting, Thai rolling. We watched people beer chugging, and I lost. Out of 5 people, the one I was making fun of the most is the one who won, and he lapped the other competitors. And it was so embarrassing. I don't even know how the person I was picking won, but I know he lost. I don't even think he was number 2. But we're about to finish the rest of the stand-up that we were watching, just to kind of end on a good note and get the jokes going. Yeah, I hate the damn time difference. Oh, and I think for this is the 3rd time that the body counters have been at 3. So we haven't surpassed our 3 beer body count, but we have matched it on 2 occasions within the season. Within 32 episodes, we drank 3 beers 3 times on a live stream. And I guess, honestly, when I move, I'm going to do the episode 300 for the Grow Variety Show and make that like a 4 to 8 hour live stream. Because I've been saving a lot of videos for that just to react to, hang out, chill. And I guess give the audience, get as much people to watch the video in a larger amount of time. I understand going on for 2 hours is like the bare minimum. That's really for your fans. 4 hours is, I would say, average or typical. 6 hours is you serious. And anything above that, yeah, you got to be getting it to be streaming that long. It is literally a job at that point, whether it's the weekend or not. Oh, don't even worry about watching a replay. Oh, I guess, yeah, you can watch the replay. What am I saying? I should be going the other way. But Paul, Wild Bill is here. He's the man as far as I'm concerned. There's not much I can teach him as far as I'm concerned when I'm making, I guess, the topic list. The topic list for the week. I'm like, dang, I hope this is actually something Wild Bill will be learning something from, and this isn't something he already knows, because that's almost at the point that I'm at. I've kind of figured out that I did watch both videos. Yes, we did watch that. We did watch that. We did watch that. We did watch that. Bam! I actually, probably for the 3rd to 5th time, I've actually covered every topic that I'm willing to cover in a show. Everything that's on the thumbnail has been covered. And that's rare. I usually don't do that. And I'm actually happy that I did it. And it's amazing. I think those are actually the episodes that I've reached 3 beers. I've been in Equilibrium. I've been in, what's the joint? Nirvana. I'm flowing on all cylinders. I'm in the zone. Put me in, coat. Kicking butt. And I also want to thank, coming along the ride, Lady Dumbledore. She's inspired me to kind of do a little bit more. She inspired me to kind of actually keep going up on Twitch, because I was going to drop Twitch, but she inspired me to keep going, which inspired me to make the shows better, because I'm trying to reach a larger audience. And also, I was told that I need a little bit more oomph in the show. So as much as I've been, I guess, holding back, because I guess this is an educational thing, I'm trying to come from a serious aspect. But I really kind of want to laugh, to be quite honest. So I've been trying to incorporate more things that'll kind of get us to a ha-ha-hee-hee point. And overall, that's where we're going to get to. That's what I've been trying to plan for the 300th Grow Variety Show episode. It's something that's going to overall be just a debacle, some chaos. We're going to like eating some hot wings, drinking like a 12-pack, taking shots, drinking a beer boot, just constantly laughing. We are learning, but I don't have to be as serious as an educator, I guess. And what I mean by that is, if you were, in high school or in college or whatever, and your teacher started to, I guess, more relate to you, and subconsciously you're losing respect for him because he's bridging the gap between him and you. And as an educator, I think you more so want to have the largest gap possible as being an authority and someone learning from you. So that's why I guess all the tone and everything is more serious. But there's a reason I made all them slides with big stuff on it. All the chicks with their bobs. And having a body count and all that, trying to be animated. I just can't figure out how to get all the stuff to work. Just be reacting and having fun the whole time. And talking about compost and gardening. Because that ain't really fun. That's serious. Especially for as much as we pay for seeds, all the time and effort that it takes into it. You know, let's just say, I think we did that video. We even watched the video I made about it. You veg for 4 weeks. You fly for 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Okay, let's go 4 and 8. That's 12 weeks of effort. That's 3 months worth of time that you put into growing something. That's dedication. You don't want that to go wrong. So I don't take that lightly. But at the same time, I'm trying to have fun doing it because once you get to a certain point, it's inevitable. You know you're about to get it. It's about to be good. It's about to be great. The dry time is going to be great. The curing is going to be great. The veg was smooth. Flying time was where you wanted it to be. You harvested at the correct time that you wanted. And it was a great cure. You got exactly what you wanted. You maximize the plant to the fullest potential that you could possibly have. And you just get the benefits, baby. But we are going to have to get ready to laugh. Buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. In the immortal words of Phyllis Diller. And watch some more cannabis. Stand up, baby. Whoa! Let's go, baby. Oh, yeah, I got it to the good part.
Chilling, nigga. I know y'all can tell. I low-key blew weed smoke on half of this audience tonight, nigga.
Did we see this part? I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
One appreciative high-ass nigga. I hate when people think just because you smoking, that they should be smoking.
You can't help it. I don't think you can help it. I feel like I need to be involved.
Nigga, no. We still fresh out of COVID, nigga. Like, and I don't even know if we out of it yet. Niggas is.
Oh, he meant smoking with him. Oh, my fault. My fault. I thought it was like, you know, like a cigarette smoker thing. That, like, that's the funny part. I understand the social part of smoking, you know, because especially nowadays, people go outside to smoke, so it's kind of like a bonding thing. Oh, you smoking? Let me get your lighter and stuff like that, and I get a cigarette. But I thought he was talking about what cigarettes smell so bad that literally at a certain point you gotta spark up a cigarette, so you don't smell the rest of the bad smoke and the bad air around you. It like kind of dulls your sense of taste. So I thought that's what he was talking about. Like, hey, you getting high? I should probably get high too. Yeah, let me fire it up where I wasn't firing it up. I thought it was like a get with mentality. But no, he talking about because you smoking, hey, let me get in on this like Snoop Dogg and Half Baked.
Just back fucking raw, just living life. I see niggas kissing in the mouth in the club the other day. I was like, okay, we there with it again.
Wow.
Sometimes when you're high, you start trying to turn into a motherfucking real-ass genius. I got home, I looked at the pot pie and said, preheat the oven.
We did see this. I remember this joke.
375, then place.
Hold on, I remember that joke. So we did see dude. Okay, because I think I remember seeing the big guy before him, before this joke. I remember this joke. My fault. I'm trying to get you to where we need to be. It's the same dude. Okay, different dude.
Man, the goddamn pot pie sandwich.
Yeah, I remember the pot pie sandwich part.
Y'all got legal weed. That's it ain't that great.
That great.
Fuck that. I'm from Atlanta. That shit illegal. I like going to the trap to get my weed.
Wow. I'm glad I actually played this at this point. Oh shit, I got the hiccups. Yeah, I do. Crap. I got the hiccup. The fact that we were watching the illegal weed video, the Baltimore didn't notice any difference in crime with recreational cannabis. And so the fact that this dude is talking about going to the trap kind of brings it home. There's a want for that. So to connect those threads, which is actually, I'm kind of happy about connecting the threads. I always like to do that. But I do understand, like, because the legal weed is on such a time frame, and I guess once I ever heard time frame, and that's the way the industry works, that they're like on an 80-day schedule, that I kind of always subconsciously steered away from that and wanted to be on a more, well, it's free. Well, if they do 4 weeks, I'm gonna do 5 weeks, just to kind of be different. But I do think there is something to be said for that. From what I understand from, say, Future Cannabis Projects, Breeder Syndicate, different growers, that realistically what causes a lot of plants to harm or have some adverse effects is not giving it a full 6 weeks. Like at the 6 week mark, it is not going to have any kind of mutations. It's going to be at its full phenotypical expression. It's going to be at its correct height. It's going to be where you need it to be to, I guess, get what you expect the end product to be. And anything before that is not going to be that necessarily. So a lot of the herming that you'll hear about and things like that come because people are putting the veg cycle in a 4 week cycle. And that is, I guess, a stress on the plant that people are not considering to be a stress. And that's where that comes from a lot of times. I guess after the 6 week mark, that really cuts down on the trait of the hermaphroditity, if that's actually a word, but I just made it up, so it is now. The chance of your plants reversing into or doing something really weird, having a weird mutation. I noticed even in re-veg or having plants, putting them outside too early where they're under more flower light, and then it switches to summer and it's a strictly veg type of sunlight, a spectrum, I should say, a red spectrum and a blue spectrum ratio. That there's a period where the plants start to go single leaf, like almost like it's growing from seed again into a normal plant. So 4 to 6 weeks is when it starts to recover, and you can tell almost like, I guess, with the rings of a tree to see how old it is, that the plant actually recovers and starts to go for a veg now, instead of going through this period of like a hormonal imbalance and not figuring out what's going on or whatever. But homegrown, you get to fine tune the environment. You get to fine tune the inputs. You get to really know the plants that you're growing. I mean, as a company, I guess you have access to all types of money. You can get all types of seeds. But as a home grower, you pretty much got what you got. And you get to hone in and fine tune the actual seeds that you have. Find out what works best, what nutrients go for, I guess, whatever you're growing. And you do come out with a better product than somebody who's just trying to meet a quota, say. I've done a video on that on my other channel, Brutal Monkey Entertainment. I talk a lot about, I guess, pop culture, video games, entertainment, but I did something on this where, you know, trying to fill a quota versus the merit system doesn't really work. And I guess the home growers who are dedicated to learning all these fine nuances, different growing techniques, and have the time really to do it, do this extra learning while they're growing, because the plants are always going to be growing, so learning is just it. And if you're a home grower, you have time to compensate for whatever mistake you make. I think professionally, the fact that you've got to meet numbers more than actually make the plant happy, it takes the soul out of it, number one, but it takes the quality of the final product out, which the home growers, the passionate people, the street dealers, is what he's going for, will pretty much shine and thrive. It's the merit system.
Fuck that. I like an element of danger. You go to the trap to get your weed, you can get shot, you can get stabbed, you can get bit by a pit bull, you get pulled over by the police. Anything can happen. By the time you get the weed, you deserve it. You got PTSD. You shaking like a motherfucker, bro.
I remember this. Yeah, got stabbed. I'm saying my friend got stabbed. Buying weed.
You deserve that shit, man. You earned it. I don't like the weed store. The weed store here, I wasn't used to it. It was weird. Yeah, they put tax on the shit. You gonna tax the weed, man? Round the shit up, man. Don't have me in here trying to carry the one at the register. Hold on, wait a minute. You count your money both ways. Flip it over to me. Now, how much I got? 7 grams. 7 grams. I don't want that shit. You go to the weed store, they ask you for your ID. Bitch, I thought I was buying drugs. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's funny. Now that killed me because DC was basically legal before any other place around where I was at was legal at. So a lot of times it would be almost like going to a private room or something like that. They ask for your ID, like they got a locked door. They open the locked door, show them your ID. They let you in this little lobby or foyer or whatever. Then they let you into the actual dispensary where you can buy what you want to buy. So it's like a weird feeling to have to show your ID and like, ain't this illegal? Yeah, I know that feeling.
This don't seem right. She got a velvet rope, like you at the bank. You gotta wait in line, like you.
A lot of pop-ups were like that. He ain't lying.
I don't like that shit. The weed store got all the lights on. That's how y'all gonna sell drugs with all the lights on? Turn some of this shit on, man.
Like it's Macy.
I'm from Atlanta. I buy drugs in the dark. That's how we buy drugs. You go in the trap house, there's one light on in the kitchen. That's it. One light. When you go in there, you put your money in the light. A hand come out of nowhere, take your money, man. Give you whatever the fuck you ask for, and you leave. You can't even snitch. Who did you see? I don't know. The motherfucker from the Addams family. It was a hand. I never saw his face. Motherfucker had cuticles. That's all I saw. That's all I saw.
That was good, man. I appreciate that. Okay, he was snitch. But he's right. I remember I was thinking about when we watched that before, like having to buy weed when I was in high school. Buying weed in prohibition times illegally, I guess, you know, like a street vendor. And going in the McDonald's bathroom to buy weed and whatnot and having to lock the door, like, that's sketchy as I'm locked in the door with this person. We in the cage match. We locked the octagon cage, and I gotta buy some weed. So I feel for him. They right about the PTSD. And my fault. I was trying to stall to break the record and get the number 4. But I got a whiz really, really, really bad. It's a competition. Can I hold out the piss before I fill up number 4? Or do I gotta tap out before that and in the stream so I can like really, 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 really piss instead of having to run in and out of the shed? Let's see what we got, because I just still want to end on a good note. I still want it to be funny. But I don't know if I got enough little funny craps. Oh, yeah, I think I did. I was going to use something for something else. The beer chug was ending on a good note for the extended time. But we can watch. Did we see that? Yeah, we saw that already. Yeah, we saw the dude rolling crap. I hope this one's better. I tried to show this before, I think on Halloween or Christmas or something like that, and it didn't work, but I hope I got a better version. Yeah, okay, it looked good to me. Yeah, it looks good. There we go. Yeah, it looks good on Yeah, okay, it looks good enough a window to me. It's not lagging or anything. Because that was the problem with the first one. It was a lot of the times when the videos be up here, it's choppy. Like half the videos I have up here are extremely choppy. And what makes it so bad is I collect at random times. So if I see something I like, I'll go ahead and get it, but I might show it a month later, so I even forget what it is because the way it downloads is like, hey, video playback or some crap like that. So, yeah, we ready. Okay, got 2 more beers. I think we can do this. But overall, yeah, I forgot. I guess this is a plug, but I did a cannabis analysis. I don't know if you listen to that. I try and make that more of just a talking type of thing, more so than an entertaining show like this, where I want to be zany and animated and jumping all over the place. But I was talking about furthering your cannabis education. And there was a lot of free certifications that people can grab on growing. Not even necessarily, I guess, just to use it as in a professional sense, but just for a growing knowledge sense that you're certified in A, B, and C. It was extraction, there was cultivation, it was composting, it was making solventless crap. So in your state, that was what it was, the labor workforce. In your state, check that to see if there's free education for cannabis. Perhaps there's a backdoor into the industry if you want to get into that. I think they start you out at like trimmer or bagger, where you gotta weigh everything out and put it in bags. But if you have the desire and there is the opportunity, you can work your way up pretty far as that route goes, because the cannabis industry is here to stay. It's endless. So, you know, becoming a manager, becoming a supervisor, becoming a general manager of cannabis is definitely lucrative. It's, I guess, the same thing as IT. If it's not now, at a certain point it will be. So it'd be the way to go. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can tap y'all out. Because if it ain't funny, I'm not going to be able to make it. I got to whiz before I finish that. I don't have enough capacity. I'm at it equally. I can actually feel the balance between me. Like being able to go on and having to piss real bad. And it's like kind of at an equilibrium. If I had to piss real bad, my brain doesn't function that well. I got to concentrate on not having to piss so hard that I can't really think anything else any further than 2 seconds. So I'm going to play the video. This is basically, I guess, a documentary on Mad Magazine, which later turned on 30 years later into Mad TV. And just their comedy. This was something I grew up on. Ringing Mad, Stir Crazy Mad, like different Mad Magazine books, different comedy. What was the dude name? Something Krieg or whatever. His artwork, Spy versus Spy. This was something before my time, something I got into. I guess I carried the torch. But I'm very interested in seeing it just to kind of get something. Yeah, I got to whiz first. And then we'll go into, I guess, the rest of everything. Try not to like stop the streaming.
Regular programming will not be seen at this time, so we may bring you the Mad Magazine TV special. With the Automobile Manufacturer of the Year, the Academy Awards for Parents, Mad X-Raving, The Odd Father, a peek behind the scenes at a hospital, and the kind of knowledge you've learned to expect from Mad's usual gang of idiots. The Mad Magazine TV special is brought to you by
Hello there. I'm Howard K. Bluntly, speaking to you from Detroit, Michigan. We're here for another interview with people who make America great. Our guest today is Mr. Edsel Lemon, the famous industrial tycoon who was recently named as Mad's Auto Manufacturer of the Year.
Woo!
Well, seeing all these new cars rolling out of the plant, I'd assume that business is very good these days, Mr. Lemon.
No, business is very rotten these days. Those are last year's cars rolling back into the plant to have their mechanical defects fixed. Some layout, huh? We've got 38,000 men working on the assembly line. 15,000 engineers designing expensive new accessories, and one kid who comes in after school to work on our anti-pollution device.
This animation is funny. It's very dated.
This is the bumper section.
Like 70s, 80s, early 80s.
About to attach a bumper to a car.
Well, I had no idea a bumper was so heavy that it takes 6 men to carry it.
Oh, no, that's not because it's so heavy. Those 6 men are carrying it as a safety precaution. It's so brittle, if they ever drop it, it'll shatter into a million pieces. This is our accessory department, where we design all the innovations like these power seat covers, the electric ashtrays, and the
Spiro
dashboard clock.
I see. And who needs these accessories?
Our dealers. How do you expect them to get rich if they can't sell at least $3,000 worth of accessories to go with every $2,000 car?
And that man, I take it, is trying to make...
What a scumbag. So that must have been the era of what the jobs going overseas and people like the unions trying to justify people being paid, I guess, double the going rate to do work. And they're like, why are those 6 people carrying that? Oh, you know, it's so fragile. How they got to. Trying to justify their jobs from, I guess, kind of screwing us. We realize with USA and how everything has worked out. So it's come full circle. But I do, I can do another one. That was the whole point of me stopping everything, wasn't it? Oh, man. Come on, man. What you doing here? Now I want to hear the ending of this. Here we go. We never make it this far. Oh, we do make it this far. I've heard it this far. It's good enough for me, though. So we about to break the record. Live stream number 32, we about to break the record. Big time. The new record. We've hit the body count of 3. 3 times. I'm gonna say. I think it's something like that. It's very low. But we about to smash the new record. This our game high. This about to be a fun day, baby. So something is gonna change.
Got a higher body count than yours.
Well, should I add this to your body count?
That wasn't right. I got something better than that. Actually, that's gonna end us on a good note. Some girl, she ain't there. You can't beat that. Come on, man. I don't know what happened to my German chick, but we're about to hit number 4. Oh, hold on. Now we better hit number Oh, we said number 5. We drinking number 5. That's how we got there. Okay. I was wondering how we got to that chick. Because that was a different hotkey. That was a different slider. And I'm going to spare you from Hammer. I mean, it might actually be exciting. How many times we do Hammer in one episode? At a live stream. Yeah, it's about to be an interesting day. You know what I'm talking about? I'll try to get the true traditional pour in this, but I'm missing a little bit of foam on the tops. But with a body count of 4, you know I'm just getting started. Y'all have yourselves excellent. Oh, yes. No, we're about to go again. Thank you for the raid. Oh, shoot. We just finished playing it. We was enjoying ourselves. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the raid. Bionic Commando is my favorite freaking game ever of all time. Ever. Yeah. I remember the first time I ever beat it. Right after I beat it, I popped some popcorn and I tried to play it again. That was like the first time I ever learned about playability value in video games. We kicking it up. Heck yeah. Smoking it up, drinking it up, thank you. We just had a great time with Bionic Commando. And I definitely appreciate the raid. Misunderstood Studios, okay. I'm going to subscribe, definitely. Because I only got Kino Casino on my kick. Smoking away. Absolutely. But not only that, to bring it back home to making concentrates, making more edibles, making the butters, making the can of cocoa butter, can of cocoa oil, different things that you can use to incorporate, put it on your toes, bake with it. For those of us who can't smoke. We just achieved our game high, our lifetime, our personal best of a body count of 4 drinks on top of that. This is beer number 5. So this has been a great live stream. I really appreciate everybody who's been in here. Paul came in. Wild Bill, Dank Tech. Stefan. Got a raid from Kick. I really appreciate that. Much love to Kick. I'm feeling as great as I ever felt on a Sunday. Euphoric wise, yes. I've tapped into this. This made me think about being on the boat in West Virginia. This made me think about being in a family reunion in North Carolina. This made me think about being on graduation break, senior trip for high school in Virginia, next to Kings Dominion. Same feeling as Cancun. Yeah, what a great feeling, a live stream. What a great feeling for all of y'all to be here. I really appreciate it. That's what's, I guess, keeping me going, keeping me happy. This is something to look forward to. This is work, something to achieve, but also something that's rewarding to see everybody come in here and, I guess, find value in what I'm doing. The best live streamer on the internet. It's Sunday at 10 o'clock. So definitely, you all enjoy yourselves. I'm about to go grab something to eat. I'll keep y'all posted. Like, you know, like I said, I want to do the like 6 to 8 hour live stream. I want to do it like a 3-bow. That's what we would call something like that. 3-bow. I want to do a 4-bow. I want to do a combo. I want to do the Grow Variety Show on Saturday, the 300th episode celebration. Then I want to do Sauced Up Sunday. Then on Monday, I want to do my Kick and Twitch stream. We game, we watch videos, we talk about growing, we react to other little videos that are funny. Try and make a day out of it. Eat some hot wings on videos, some shit like that, some Smurf like that. And, you know, kind of go from there, kind of entertain ourselves. I don't know if that's going to be like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, we gotta make it. We gotta put a huge asterisk by the content creator on the internet thing. It's gonna have to be on the East Coast, in this time zone, in this city. Yeah, we are gonna have to bring race, sex, gender into it in order to make me number one. We're gonna have to finagle a lot of numbers here. We're gonna have to bring in a team of people to make me the best streamer on the internet. QXC, who's that? Who's Vosh? Who's Hassan? Who's Destiny? Who's Neurotic? Who's Mr. Beast? But yeah, no. This is something that I guess by Wednesday, I feel unprepared for, but by Sunday, I feel very fulfilled by, especially by the end of this. I really appreciate everything that everybody does. I'm going to try and do a lot more streaming as much as I possibly can because, you know, like sadly, I was thinking this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I see more of a future on the internet than I do in actual physical working. I feel that I could honestly do better by live streaming, playing video games, being funny, getting into pop culture, reacting, doing more grow videos, more personalized grow videos, making my locals channel better, where it's exclusive videos, which I have been working on exclusive content for just only locals, but trying to make everything more personalized. I see more of a future in that than I see in anything else that I guess jobs are offering. And that's actually kind of sad because when I guess I was 18, 19, I didn't think that way. I would figure that the internet, I guess that's why I didn't get into typing, because I didn't see any future in computers. And honestly now I see way more of a future in computers and AI and streaming than I do in actual physical work, working at a job for a corporation or business entity, whatever. But I'm gonna go see what my family's doing while I'm still in chill mode before I beat them up. Start taking my shirt off and smacking people around. But y'all enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, Kick. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Rumble Studio, definitely. Lady Dumbledore, Wild Bill, Paul, Dank Tech. Thank you so much for the raid. I can't, my first raid ever. My first Kick raid ever. Thank you so much. Misunderstood Studios. You blessed me there. That's a light at the end of the tunnel in a way. That's another milestone. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stephen Jacobs, everybody who showed up. Y'all have a great Sunday. Y'all have a great rest of the week, man. That's the most important thing. And we out, baby. We did it, man. This was good. I really appreciate y'all. I can't underestimate that. Yeah, we got hammer, we got a body count, yeah, we got all that good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, thank y'all. I will finish this in happiness. Please, can I extend that to y'all? I send you my heart.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Don't be such a square. Everybody drinks.
Smoke perp to the haze, smoke haze to the cheese, smoke cheese to the kush, smoke kush to the sour diesel, and I ain't feeling Chief, I smoke perp to the haze.
How are we supposed to follow that?
To the cheese, smoke cheese to the kush, smoke kush to the sour diesel.
My dog stepped on a bee.
And I ain't feeling Chief, I smoke perp to the haze, smoke haze to the cheese, smoke cheese to the kush, smoke kush to the sour diesel, and I ain't feeling
Brutal Monkey is right. All the uploading takes hours.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
And now,
Impressive. Most impressive.